creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association. Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
From casual rounds to tournaments to weddings, it all fits at Colonial Golf Club.
Excuse me, you mind if I play through? I'm in a bit of a rush.
No problem. Why are you wearing a tuxedo?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting married today. Just thought I'd play a round of golf before I say I do. Oh, looks like they're starting.
Great course conditions, greens that are always fast and true, and only 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont. Colonial Golf Club. For more details and a book, visit colonial.ca.
Summit Restaurant. Located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common, Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
The Jason Gregor Show.
That's Cody Fajardo. Pitching this one to Justin Rankin. Could he? Oh, you're doing well. Touchdown Rankin. Unstoppable.
On Sports 1440.
Fajardo flips this one out. Rankin trying to get there. 1 second and a couple. He'll get it all. Touchdown, Justin Rankin. His second of the ballgame.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
To
Simply irrepressible.
Well, a positive Friday. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram and Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto Max. Get your tickets, $25 million and 25 prizes of $100,000. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. We got a loaded show for you. Lots to discuss. Elks. They're good, man. They're really good. We'll talk to defensive coordinator J.C. Sherritt coming up in the 5 o'clock hour today. The Elks have given up like 40 yards. And really the only thing that gave Ottawa any life was the roughing the kicker penalty on the Elks. That doesn't happen. Might have been more of a blowout. We'll see. But, like the offense got going in the fourth quarter. It was unreal. That game was probably closer than it should have been for 3 quarters. But the Elks never trailed. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive. Then it was a little bit sluggish for a while. But then they turned it on and crushed Ottawa 40-17. What a beautiful night for football. We were sitting on the east side of the stadium in the sun. It was unreal. So good, man. Just relaxing, take it in the sun. I'm kind of like, I'm not sure what football fans need to go to a game. Can't get much better of a night. The team's 4-1. You got the most electrifying player in the league on your team. People had talked about, hey, you know what, I'll go if the team wins again. Well, they're starting to win. So I know for some people, Thursdays aren't a big draw, and that's fine. But the Elks, all the remaining 7 home games are Fridays or Saturdays. You got next Friday against the BC Lions, should be a heck of a tilt. And then they've got afternoon game against Saskatchewan on Saturday. I think they got 3 Saturday games in a row after that, at least at home anyway. So lots of opportunities to go see the Elks. And for the first time in a long time, you are going to see a winning team because they're very good. Now, Justin Rankin obviously is playing great. You look at all of his stats and everything else. Here he is. You come in after, obviously it's week 6, but the Elks had a bye. He's got 513 yards rushing. He's on pace for 1,847. He's got 297 yards receiving. He's on pace for 1,069. If he does that, he'd be the first player ever with 1,000 and 1,000. Right now, he's on pace for 2,916 yards from scrimmage. The record is 24-14. Like he's not just beating it; he's killing it right now. Now I know it's a projection. Season's not even a third of the way through yet, so we'll see. He also has 6 rushing touchdowns right now, and last night had his first receiving touchdown. So he has 7. As far as rushing TDs go, he's on pace for 21. The record is 19. Total touchdowns, he's on pace for 21. The record is 23, set by Milt Stiegel. He is having an unbelievable start, and you got to give credit to the O-line, man. Now, I like the adjustment. I really believe I'd spread out the Elks and run them more to the side anyway. You get Rankin in the open field, I'd much rather have Rankin in the open field. Not that he can't. We saw in his opening run, he went into the into the crowd and then was able to stutter step, get outside. And once he's outside, it's advantage Edmonton. No question. And the Elks, the one thing, there's a few things. But anybody who's going to the games, anybody who's watching the games this year, the Elks' big play capability, and it's not so much big play capability with the ball in the air, it's yak yards for this team. Like, look at Orange last night. Ends up with a 90-yard run. I think he caught the ball 6 yards from the quarterback and then broke a few tackles and sprinted all the way down the sidelines. Justin Rankin. How many times has Rankin, whether it's a pass or a run, where he just turns it upfield and he's got multiples of 60, he's got multiples of 30. The Elks are a big play team. And as much as we talk about Mac and Rankin and obviously Cody Fajardo, you can't overlook the offensive line. And they don't even have Coulter. Wait till Coulter Woodmansy's back, because that'll just make them even better. But hat tip for the Elks. I do think, I noticed last night, and Deck, I don't know from your vantage point if you noticed the same thing, but Beard, I'll be curious. Now, this is just, they didn't know. It's after the game when you asked the coach about the injury. You know what? We have to see, which I'm sure is true sometimes. But to me on Beard, it looked like a strained calf. And if that's what it is, that's going to be a few weeks. Calves can take a long time. But Beard, the way he's playing, now maybe Corte will get kind of his game back. But from what I've seen, when Corte's in so far, Deck, he hasn't played to the same level as Beard at the center position.
No, he definitely hasn't. He had the one bad snap there. It's not really his natural position. And then David Beard is the lead at it. Like, he was, I know it wasn't a great offensive line last year, but he was the team's most outstanding lineman nominee. 3 Down Nation, I believe, had him ranked as the 3rd best center in the CFL. So he's a really elite caliber player. And when you have a guy come in Mark Corte, who, not playing his natural position and just bluntly isn't as good, the team's going to suffer a little bit. I don't think it hurt them too much last night, but you're absolutely concerned about what it's going to do for you in the long run. And David Beard, like, center's kind of an interesting position because it's not as flashy. You don't make movies about it with Sandra Bullock like you do your left tackle. You don't see it pulling as much the way with the guards, but it's a really valuable position because your first step has to come after emotion, right? So it's just like, it's really tough to play, and you need to be a special kind of guy to do it. And David Beard is that guy.
Yeah. And so we'll see about, what they're going to do on the offensive line if Beard's out. But my initial, I'm no doctor. I'm not Struds. I didn't take pre-med by taking one class in university. But just having covered the league enough, when you watch guys, you look at it, that's kind of what I saw on that. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I'm telling you, green and gold fans, casual fans, you should go get yourself a ticket. Super cost effective. You have loads of fun tailgating. Like before the game, man, it's an atmosphere there. On the west side of the stadium, you owe it to yourself just to go. Just go check it out. It is, they're building something. I know it's kind of slow. Yesterday was really the first nice day for an Elks game this year. They've only had 2 home games, but they're 2-0 at home. You want a winning team. You want a competitive team. You want a team that you can be proud of. Well, the Elks are trending in that direction. So that's good news for them. On the show, Dave Naylor will join us. We'll hear from Jake Lanferman, of course, head coach of the Riverhawks, as the manager, as they are in action this weekend at home. And the Riverhawks are rolling. They won another series over the Owls after dropping the first one. They won the last 2, and now they look to roll through another one. Also have Craig Button, JC Sherritt, LT will be by. We got Cam Tate, Wanye Gretz. So we have a loaded show for you. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Spain and Belgium into the second half, still 1-1. And we'll see. Spain obviously came in as a favorite. Not a massive favorite, but a favorite. And I do wonder, Belgium, ever since they kind of woke up from that slumber in the round of 32 against Senegal. They were down 2-0, 85 minutes in. Not good. They scored twice before game end and then won it in overtime. Then they went to take on the USA and absolutely obliterated them. Wasn't even close. Beating them 4-1. And now taking on Spain. So who knows? Could Belgium just get on a roll here and finish it out? We'll see. The Toronto Blue Jays are on the road in San Diego, and they have made a trade as Tommy Nance goes to the Minnesota Twins, as the Jays have probably a surplus of arms right now in the bullpen. They're going to get prospect Ryan Sprock, and Nance is 35 years of age. Sprock, meanwhile, he was drafted in the 8th round of the 2025 draft. He's only a 21-year-old, and he's basically playing single high and high A level ball right now. So this is obviously a prospect that will take some time. See where he's at, playing in Fort Myers for the Mighty Muscles. We could probably have a show just on what's the greatest minor league baseball team name. Because they've got some epic ones, man. Absolutely epic. Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, probably my favorite still. Going way back, anybody who's listened to the show for a long time knows. We get to Quakes. We kind of became fans of their show, of their team, excuse me. And then now we had the manager and stuff on the show. It's hilarious. So if you go through the minor leagues of baseball, there is some interesting names for sure. Now, Deck, I know you're a big MMA guy. What do you make of the fight with McGregor this weekend?
Yeah, never been a Connor McGregor fan. Not going to start tomorrow night. It's obviously always a spectacle when he fights, which is cool. I just think, you haven't fought in 5 years since you broke your leg. you lost both of those fights to Dustin Poirier. You haven't won a fight since a washed-up cowboy who was too scared to even be in the octagon with you since 2020. Before that, your last win was 2016. That was also the last knockout with your fist, which is this like crazy touch of death left hand we've heard about. Like, yeah, you got to touch a death left hand when you're fighting Chad Mendes and Dennis Seaver. It's a little different when you're 1-3 in the lightweight division in your career. So I don't have high expectations for him. Max Holloway still fighting at a very high clip. Didn't look great in the Charles Oliveira fight. It was a really tough stylistic matchup. Obviously, Ilya put him down, but since moving up to lightweight, the fight he had against Gaethje, who's now champion, knockout. What he did to Dustin Poirier in his retirement fight was pure class. So I like Max Holloway to take this one into deep waters and drown him. And I just think the time off will be too much to overcome for Conor McGregor.
Yeah. I like the word you use there, spectacle. Right? It's always a big show. Hey, Conor is great as a salesman, right? He pumps up. He's talking about all the guys he would have beat in his prime. Like, dude. I love that you could, but see, it's great that you can say it, but there's nothing to back it up. But him believing he would beat John Jones just on the sheer size, give me a break. Right? GSP? No. I don't think he could penetrate GSP's defense. Do you?
No, GSP would that is on top. Listen, on top of everything else, that is just the worst stylistic matchup for him ever. GSP would just wrestle him for 25 minutes and there would be nothing he could do to get out from bottom position. Nothing.
Yeah. No, I totally agree too. And then he even said Anderson Silva. I'm like, come on, man. Are you kidding me? The spider in his prime. Again, massive size disadvantage. He wouldn't be going anywhere. I don't think. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I saw a lot of people talking about now that the Ducks got Carlson, they're going to have to trade away their veterans. Do you think Chris Kreider or Killorn, either one would have interest to the Oilers? Well, they each have a year left on their deal. They basically both make $6 million. I think Kreider's at 6.25. I don't think the Ducks are trading Kreider. I really don't. Now, I could be wrong, but you look at their team, and they're going to have to move somebody, but they'd much rather keep both of them and move Frank Petrano. Right? That's Captain Obvious, but it's true. Right? But Chris Kreider, he had 22 goals and 50 points last year. Big body, fast, always in great shape. I don't think they're actively looking to move him. Frank Petrano had 5 goals and 9 points in 50 games. And he makes 4.25 mil. That's the guy. If they have to move Kreider or Killorn, I think they consider it, but that definitely I don't think is going to be their first one. And I think Killorn would be the guy that they would move first. Kreider's just better right now. But I don't think Alex Killorn, is he somebody I'd look at the orders? Not before the season, no. Let's see how he does. And maybe he gets hot again and you need to add a depth guy at the deadline, maybe. But I don't necessarily see either one. And you got to remember, Edmonton's one of the Ducks' biggest rivals. I don't see them making a move with the Edmonton Oilers. The Sharks, I know you traded Darnell Nurse there, but that is it's just a little bit different, right? So I don't see that necessarily happening right away. Hey, Greg, do you think Rankin is masking some of the play calling from HD? No. What? I guess my question is, what play calling are you upset about? Right? Honestly, I think it's a fair question. Cody Fajardo is not a gunslinger. Okay. But right now, today, he's played the most games, so it's going to go down. But Cody Fajardo is averaging basically 300 yards passing a game. Right? He's got 1,499 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The red zone offense at times I don't love. They've settled for some short field goals. That is fair. But that to me is on, I wouldn't even put that on the quarterback. Right? I don't love running into the pile on first down in the red zone for this team. It hasn't worked. So would I like the OC to be a little bit more aggressive at times? Sure. But I don't think the play calling's being atrocious. Do you, Deck?
No, a lot of people have issue with the play calling, and I don't have
But
much
they don't
issue with
say
it
what
at all.
their issue is. They just say, "Oh, I have issue with the play calling." Well, what?
And quite bluntly, I think people have more issue with how the plays actually play out on the field rather than the play calling. I think they see what happens on the field, like whether it be, an errant throw or a short route or whatever it is, and they have an issue with that, and then just kind of revert to saying, "Oh, I have a problem with the play calling," which I've never had a problem with. Like, I don't think Jordan Maximic calls a bad game. I think there are spots he can call better plays.
I don't like him in the red zone. I will say inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
I'm not loving their play.
Well, it's funny you bring that. How did you feel about that second down shot they took to the back of the end zone early in the game? Because I was talking to Brandon Douglas about that as we were watching in the press box. He said, "Hey, how do you feel about this?" I said, "Hey, I had no problem with that call at all. But I would have actually gone for it on third down." He says he didn't like it. He would have rather ran it on second down. Where do you come out on that one?
I wasn't going to run it. It was second. You were like 6 yards out. So I wouldn't have ran it. You're throwing to your best receiver. And I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that throw at that point. Not at all. Now, you're not going to score a touchdown every time. I get it. Right. But the Elks offense is not, Rankin's elite. Let's just say that. The offensive line has really improved. Cody Fajardo's playing pretty well. He hasn't had that many terrible throws, right? My concern about the offense is almost every game they've had a stretch that lasts a quarter long where they do nothing. That's my concern, right? Like after they scored on their first touchdown drive, they didn't really do much, Jack, for about a quarter and a half, right? We saw it in Winnipeg. They had an unreal first half, and then they kind of sleptwalked in the third quarter, woke up again late and scored that touchdown. So to me, that's I have a little bit more of a concern where this team's still learning to kind of blow teams out. I know it ended up a blowout because it was 24-3 in the fourth quarter, but the game was 16-14 after 45 minutes. And Ottawa shouldn't have been in the game. Penalties were really the only reason Ottawa got back in that game, to be honest. But so it's not so much the play calling. I find the play calling and the execution for long stretches can be meh. So it's my only thing. Now no one's going to play a full 60 minutes and everything's going to be great, but I find they seem to have a good quarter, sometimes a quarter and a half. They don't really do much, but then they reawaken. They're 4-1, so I can't be that upset about it. Hey Gregor, wonderful win in the fourth quarter, but pretty cheap of Killam to kick a field goal at the end and not let Leak go for it. It was zero gamble, nothing to lose. Richard, you know why he didn't gamble there? Because he didn't want to brawl. That game was getting out of hand. There was a lot of cheap shots on both sides. You're blowing them out. It was 37-17 at the time, and you were going to gamble on 3rd and 5 in a blowout? No. With Dak earlier in the game, if you want to go 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, okay, I can see it. But not in a blowout game. There's still a little bit of a respect factor there. The game was getting pretty heated, and I think that only would have amplified the temperature if he did it there. So I understand that Leak had a touchdown call back, but he's not the first guy to have a touchdown call back. So I actually didn't really have a big issue with them settling for the field goal. It's a blowout because role reversal, you would be livid if the opposing team tried to go for it against you at that stage of the game. Right? And here's the thing. Because the Elks don't really go for it that often anyway. We've seen them settle for 11 and 12 and 12-yard field goals. So it was actually at the 4-yard line. So we've seen them settle for that. So then in a blowout, if you did it, that would probably piss the opposition off more. Now, if the Elks were a team that had been gambling all year long inside the 5 on 3rd down, different conversation. So I respected Killam at that point. He's like, I'm just trying to keep the temperature from blowing over. He didn't want, Jordan Murray was on tilt. You saw it, Deck. His quarterback, he was on tilt. And rightfully so. I get it. But you know what? It's an emotional game. And guys get on tilt. You've already got one O-lineman injured. You didn't need somebody doing something dumb and getting kicked out of the game. Quick break. We'll return. Naylor joins us next. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Summit Restaurant. Located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common, Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament. Friday, August 28th at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's Grad and helps graduates shine on graduation day. Early bid pricing ends July 18th, so sign up at nationgear.ca before it sells out.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday rolls on. How you doing? Man, we've had sun for a few days. Now it's starting to feel like summer. Finally, it's a welcome change. I know there's a little bit of rain this morning, but hey, it's been sunny most of the day today, most of the day yesterday. So I'll take it. Okay. Beggars can't be choosers because it has been June was a disaster, but July looking better for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. As it's time now to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your group to your next destination. Book your ride today at silentrides.ca. As we are joined by Dave Naylor from the CFL on TSN, CFL Insider. And Dave, we were talking earlier about Justin Rankin, and we'll get to him in a second. But to me, like, Rankin's obviously been a talented player for sure. The biggest difference this year he has is his offensive line is way better.
Yeah, and I thought you had a pretty good contrast to what Ottawa had lined up on the offensive line last night. I mean, that's just one of the differences you could just sort of see in the game, you know, whether it was pass protection and time to throw or just Justin Rankin having holes open for him. He can bounce it outside when they're not there, but so often, and this has been a theme for Ottawa really since week number one, they just haven't been able to get the ground game going, and that often has more to do with your offensive line than it does a running back. But in the case of Edmonton, when you combine a dynamic running back who, I mean, you see teams, and you know, Ottawa's a good example last night, who did a relatively good job with him other than the first drive, you know, until late in the game. But it just kind of eventually he wears you down and you get tired and you get some missed tackles. And once you get a missed tackle or two, he breaks those for big ones. I mean, it's just such an electrifying player. And really, I think without a doubt, you know, the most exciting running back in the league.
Yeah, no question. And he's bordered on one of the more exciting players when you get the ball in his hands. He just makes people miss. He can make some plays that look like just an average play. And then the next thing you know, he's gone 30, 40, sometimes 60 yards for a touchdown. The Elks, the game was probably closer than they wanted, but then they blew the doors off in the fourth quarter. And 40-17, they're 4-1. I think it's people have to say, okay, this Elks team is legit. Now, how good they are, we'll see probably when they face off against Saskatchewan. But they've already beat Montreal, so you know what? Mm-hmm. You can't say that this team isn't good. But I think taking on Rourke again next Friday will be another good test for them.
It will. And look, I think the interesting thing about the Elks to me is they're kind of the throwback team in the league right now. And I don't mean throwbacks like, you know, to like way back. I mean, like to last year, well, before the CFL evolved into this wild, crazy, you know, overnight, it feels like, you know, past 65 points a game, 400-yard passers on both sides of the ball kind of league. Especially going into last week, I was looking at a lot of the metrics, and you know, the typical right now team is throwing for 1 million yards, not running many, and can't stop anything on defense. That's the sort of typical CFL team so far this season. And Edmonton's very different. They run the ball like crazy. You know, they don't always throw it for 1 million yards, although Cody Fajardo's put up pretty significant passing totals the last 2 weeks. And they played really strong defense. They got a lot of playmakers on defense. So it was just funny going into last week that the only team wasn't sort of playing the more aggressive offensive style that we've seen in 2026 was also the only undefeated team. And, you know, that was a fairly low-scoring game last night. I mean, both teams had 20 points, I believe, midway through early in the fourth quarter. And then, you know, Ottawa just kind of brought the walls in on themselves. I mean, you just saw once they started to have to press. And look, I'll give Edmonton's defense a lot of credit because I think with a quarterback like Jake Mayer, who, you know, is not great at playing off script, doesn't extend plays with his legs, but he's got a very accurate arm. He needs time to throw. And if he can sit in the pocket and get the time to throw, he can be very accurate and very effective. When he can't, and I think on most of the throws that went awry last night on him, you'll see he had pressure, you know, all coming at him. He took some sacks as well. Just, you know, his style of play, I think, doesn't go very well with the team moving him off the spot the way Edmonton was able to last night.
You think Bethel Thompson's going to be the starting quarterback next week for Ottawa?
Don't. And that's a gut thing. I think, look, and the thing with Jake Mayer, I don't think he played terribly last night. The 4 interception stat line looks bad, and, you know, you see the score, it looks bad. But if you watch the game, you know, 3.5 quarters into the game, you wouldn't have said that he was a disaster. You know, he made some throws he shouldn't have. Again, but he was under duress much of the night. I think Ryan Dinwiddie kind of owns this one, right? Because he had his choice of 2 guys, and he, without any hesitation, wanted Jake Mayer. Mm-hmm. And I would expect that he's probably going to ride that a little hard. And it may have been a disaster, you know, 4 picks in the first half or hadn't completed any decent throws all night. You know, I think that may be more likely. Here's the thing. if you put McLeod Bethel-Thompson in and it's not as good or no better, and then you do that another week, what do you do then? You go back to the guy you benched. You keep riding McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who wasn't anybody's idea at the start of the season. I just feel like the season kind of gets away from you more quickly if you move off Jake Mayer and go to McLeod Bethel-Thompson. And I'm not sure that, all of the problems with the offense are necessarily quarterback related. If McLeod Bethel-Thompson sees the same kind of, he's not a mobile guy either. He's not somebody who's going to move off the spot and buy time. So I don't know that and again, the run game, that would help as well. The panel talked about that at halftime. Where's the run game? So I'm not sure what ails this offense right now is necessarily solved by a quarterback change, and I think it could get worse.
Dave Naylor joins us here in Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. So you look ahead to this weekend, Dave. What do you make of the coaching decisions for the two starters in Winnipeg and Hamilton? Let's start in Winnipeg.
Well, there's a golden rule. The thing that teams value more in a backup quarterback than anything else is, experience or time on task with that player. And in both cases, the guy who has more experience with that staff got the job. And, Jake Delagala and Trey Ford have about the same number of starts. I think Delagala has 11 in his career and Trey Ford has 10. So starting experience is relatively the same. But Jake Delagala was in Hamilton last year. He's had more time with Scott Milanovich.
Yeah,
and
do it now.
I think
just do it now.
For a guy who
fade him down. Yeah, we'll try to get Dave on a better connection there. So keeps kind of going in and out. So hopefully we'll get that rectified. A little too tough. If I'm having a tough time hearing him, then I'm guessing you are too. So we'll try to reconnect on that one. It is interesting to me when you look at the matchup in quarterback. I'm curious to see kind of how much the guys play. Like you look at that Hamilton game, and I wonder if you're basically going to see two quarterbacks here. So we'll try to figure that out and see where it's going to go from there. But I'll say this: injuries to that position. Now that's why the Elks went out and got Powell, and I do know for sure that they'd like to get him in. Right now, they really haven't had an opportunity. There was late. I guess you could say, you could put him in on the last drive of the game. Maybe you could have done it then, but I don't really have a problem with them not doing it. But I do know that they're pretty high in Powell. Remember, he got a 2-year deal, right? Fajardo has the 1-year deal. So, having a veteran or just a backup that's competent is a key. So we'll see. And I look at Hamilton, Dave, and I just wonder if we're going to almost see kind of like a quarterback guy by committee between those two here down in the next few weeks. No, we don't have Dave. So, well, we're done. That's strike two. We're out. So just wherever Dave's at today, his phone's not working. So we'll see where it goes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Take a quick break. When we come back, we got a lot of texts to get to. Also, we'll hear, we're going to talk a little, some hockey talk, some news and notes from around the league, and a fun little Positive Friday. On Positive Friday, we have a few different conversations. So we'll get to that when we return to the Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
For all your welding supplies, think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu. The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton sports leader. Sports 1440.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
It's finally time to escape your four walls and see where your four wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
This is the moment you become queen.
The global phenomenon returns, only on Crave. HBO's House of the Dragon is back for its most fiery season yet. Don't miss new episodes of breathtaking spectacle, shocking betrayal, and explosive drama.
You are the queen of dragons. You have an absolute power within your grasp.
House of the Dragon, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub. Edmonton's favorite soccer home, the Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with $6.50 Heineken, only at the Druid Irish Pub.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Plaza Friday continues on. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Big plans for the weekend? Where are you going? I'm sure all of you cabin owners or cottage owners are looking forward to get out to the cabin. Hopefully the water's not too high. But, man, we get some sun and maybe going golfing. I know lots of the golf courses had a little bit of damage there for a while, but most of them have rectified it, and it's looking good. Hopefully we can get, a stretch here of some nice warm weather. I think we deserve it. We've had a fair amount of rain. Now, if we get a little bit of a sprinkle overnight some nights, cool things down, I'll take it. But I don't see it. Hey, Greg's, from a fan sitting in the stands perspective, I loved having Fajardo make that last drive and almost get the touchdown. The excitement in the stands was electric. That's been missing for many years. Yeah, the fans sitting around me were all saying we want one more touchdown. It was fun, regardless of them settling for a field goal, which I understand why they did. And you know what? Hey, I understand it. I get it. You want, when you're at home, there's something just different about giving your fans, like that fourth quarter, the fans walk out of that building thoroughly entertained. You scored 24 points in the third quarter. Like, I don't think it matters that you kicked a field goal at the end instead of being 28. No, people are just like, man, we spanked them 24-3 down the stretch when it matters, right? So I think it's a good step for the Elks. Unfortunately, as Chris Morris has alluded to, like, they had to repair a lot of bridges. It's not just we're going to win a few games and now everybody's going to flock back. It's not how it's going to work, right? Like, people change their habits, and some people got out of the habit of going to games. I think that's fair. You got out of the habit. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get back into it. But for some people, they'll be like, oh, geez, you know what? Let's see. Okay, geez, now they're 4-1. Maybe they'll go to the Friday game and they'll be like, I'll go on a Saturday game, which is fine. Fans have earned that right. But I just, we had people say, man, you can't go to the games and never win. Fair. But that is slowly changing, right? You're seeing it. The Elks are right now, they got the best record in the league. So they are winning games. But now we'll see. They take on BC next Friday night, 7:00, not 8:00, which is great, right? Thankfully, there's no more 8:00 starts on Friday. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think those are great. Then they're in Saskatchewan on July 23rd. And then you have a rematch in Edmonton. Like, that's ideal. You take on BC, and let's say they beat the Lions. Well, now automatically it's going to be back-to-back games, an away and home for the Elks against the Riders, who either A, are going to be tied with them or one game behind. Like, that sets up for an awesome stretch, right? You know that there'll be some Rider fans coming to the game, but I think there'd be a few more Elks fans. It's a Saturday. It's the afternoon. It's 5:00. Then their next home game is against Toronto on Saturday, the 15th of August. Usually it's pretty warm out, right? And then after that, they got a home game against the Bombers in August, getting close to going back to school. Kids are like, Dad, can I go? I want to go to a game before we got to go back to school. So I do think their schedule now sets up better. The Labor Day rematch in September, obviously week 15 of the season. Right? And then you got Hamilton on a Saturday later on. And then, that Friday game against Winnipeg, unlike previous years, could have some massive implication about the playoffs. Right? So if you look at the Elks' last 4 games, they play Hamilton twice, and they got Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. So this season, the Elks actually have 3 sets of back-to-back games against the same team. I love it. Honestly, I do. I wish the NHL had more of that. I really don't understand why the NHL, after having the blueprint of COVID and the opportunity to see what happens when you play multiple games in a row against the same team in the same city, that they don't do it now. Cuts down on travel, increases intensity. It's better for everybody. Honestly, now, not every game. I get it. Can't do it against the East. Even if there's just 4 of those a year, start with 2 at home, 2 on the road. That's what I would do if I was the NHL. I don't think it's that hard. You have to play these teams anyway. Like, why do you have to go on a road trip and go to LA, Anaheim, San Jose, and Vegas? Why can't one trip be, okay, we're going to play Anaheim 2 games, LA 2 games? Hell, the Oilers wouldn't, like, you could do that and not even have to move hotels for a week. But you don't have to play back-to-back nights if you don't want to. Play Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever it is. And then the next trip, 2 in San Jose, 2 in Vegas. I don't understand why I can't do this. The team's got the home nights. It's right there for you, NHL. I would just love to hear one reason why you wouldn't do it. What's a good, sound reason why you wouldn't do it? That's all I like to see. So, I don't get it, right? I don't get it. So, we'll see where it goes. A few other notes. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, I know it's the offseason, but I'm curious about the Oilers. What do you think about Ike Howard? I'm reading people think that he's not going to become the player the Oilers hoped he would be. Well, who wrote that? Steve. That'd be my first question. Who wrote that? Like, honestly, please tell me the name of the person who wrote that. Because I have no problem. If the person wrote it, they put their name on it, then let's talk about it. right? Like I've seen a lot of people, oh, you know what? They lost the trade to Tampa Bay because of Sam O'Reilly's junior season. Really. We're now comparing what you do in junior, saying it's equal to what happens in the pros. Hey, maybe Sam O'Reilly's going to be awesome. I don't know. He did have an unbelievable season of junior. No question in my mind. Right? I don't doubt that for a sec. It was a phenomenal year for him with Kitchener. Right? Won the OHL, won the Memorial Cup. He had 28 points in 18 playoff games. It's fantastic. Right? He had 17 goals in 18 playoff games. Unreal. Now, is he going to be that prolific of a goal scorer at the next level? We could go through the laundry list of guys who score a lot in junior. Now it's hard. So I don't know how good he's. What I do know is that Sam O'Reilly's played on winning teams. He's won 3 championships, right? 3 in a row. London, Kitchener. 3 in a row. So he's obviously been on good teams, and he's been a pretty good player. No question about it. So how good can he be? I don't know. But Isaac Howard, as a rookie in the American League, scored 24 goals in 47 games. There's not a lot of guys that are breaking down a half a goal a game in the AHL every year at 21. I'm telling you, go look. It's a hard league against men. You look when Howard came. I don't put too much stock in his 29 games in Edmonton. Didn't play very many minutes, but he also got to learn a lot. He would be like, because the players know, if you're not quick enough, you know it. Or if it's like, man, I got to get better reaction time. Like when I get the puck, I got to get it off my stick, right? You learn all that by playing in those games. Whether or not you're able to do it, now that's the question. But I think it's way too early to say that, Ike Howard. Like I know his name's been out there and people put it out there for months. And for me, I've been saying for months that there's no chance you trade him because you acquired him because you thought he could be a goal scorer. There's nothing that he's shown yet that suggests he can't. Look at his last 2 years of hockey. He's produced. Now, he hasn't produced at the NHL level, but I don't think anybody expected him to produce at the NHL level. Right? If he has 50 goals split between Michigan State and Bakersfield in 84 games, it's pretty good. Right? Pretty solid. Now, the NHL is a different beast. Totally agree. But I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. And I don't know if it's fear, because trust me, there's people out there that write the same garbage all the time. And hey, some of you keep reading it, so obviously it's working. But, oh, this trade's bad. And based on all what ifs. There's nothing factual about it. What if, right? Hey, Gregor, would you trade Howard for Kreider? No. Chris Kreider is going to be 35. Now, he's more proven at the NHL level right now, no question. But Chris Kreider's on the back 9 of his career. Howard's like on the first 3 holes. So, no, I wouldn't do that. Now, any player's tradable. You give me a 26, 27-year-old forward who's got a, multiple time 20 goal season. Yeah, I'd consider that for sure. But you acquired Howard for a good prospect because you believe he's going to be a good prospect for you. So at some point you have to see what's going on. Eight 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, people should be excited about the Ryan O'Reilly pick because they clearly have someone who's good at identifying players, and they traded up to get him, which means they're showing willingness to take risks to get them from Ontario home. Well, that's Rick Precy. That's who they got now, right? Rick Precy's overseeing their draft, and he hasn't had the opportunity to, draft in a real high position, and based on the Oilers have already traded next year's first rounder, that he's probably not going to be in that position anytime soon. But, we got to see, like, does Rudolph's Burskoln, does he become a player? Gasper and all those other guys. Like Tommy Lafreniere. They took him in the third round, right? He was like 80th, 83rd or something last year. Guy scored 41 goals, had a pretty good year, right? Pretty big jump for him. He, it's his 19-year-old season now. He could go back to the Dub. Maybe I haven't seen if he's going to the Dub, if he's going to NCAA yet or not, but possibility, right? And who knows? Like usually, like guys that are third rounders, like it takes some time, if ever, on what they do. But you're right, Sam O'Reilly. Like that's the only first round pick. It's the only pick in the top 50 that the Oilers have had with Rick Precy running the draft. So it's kind of challenging to know whether or not any of these guys are going to pan out because, it's a long way to go. Now, they also took Clattenburg, and he's already played. I know it's only 5 games, but still, he played in the NHL. Look at that 24 draft class. And if you look at how many guys have played more games than Clattenburg, hey, I know it's 5 games. I don't know if Connor Clattenburg is going to play 5 more games this year or when he's going to get back in the NHL. But the fact that he even played 5 games to this point, it's good early. It's good early on for him. And we'll see. I know he's got the willingness and the tenacity. I think they just want him to now just, work on his skills. Passing, stick handling, all that stuff, right? Like you can't just be fighting all the time, right? They want to see what else he can bring. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, Howard and O'Reilly are different players. We would have kept O'Reilly if we want a third-line center, but Howard is what we need now in a younger winger. True. Well, but I can't say for certain that O'Reilly's only going to be a third-line center. Now, in Edmonton, yes, he would only be in a third-line center. But maybe down the road, now, again, what if in 2 years or 3 years, there's different guys here, right? But you're right. They are different players. But who knows? I don't want to put a lid and say O'Reilly can only be a third-line center. Maybe he'll be a second-liner. Hey, Greg, do you think the Oilers would have any interest in Shane Wright? I don't think so. Center. They've got Dickinson, they got Draisaitl, they got Nugent Hopkins, you got McDavid. I just don't see where Shane Wright helps them at this stage. They need a scoring winger. That's what they need. Right? Now, it's a need that doesn't have to be filled right away. You can give Savoy and Howard opportunities early in the year to see if they can emerge as that. That's what you can do. But Shane Wright, for me, I would be surprised. Hey, Gregor, I miss the days where you get 8 games against each team in your division. Mind you, that was 5 teams. Rivalries are fun, especially in hockey. As a fan who lives in GP, it'd be fun to go with some of my Flame fan friends for 2 games in a row. Yeah, could you imagine that? Right, like 1 year you play Edmonton, host Calgary 2 games in a row. Now that you could, Calgary's probably not one where you say, hey, we can just do it home and away because it's so close. But you still could do it if you wanted. Right, like imagine a Friday, Saturday night when they open the brand new facility in Calgary. And their first weekend of games is Friday night against Edmonton, Saturday night against Edmonton. So imagine that. Are you freaking kidding me? You'd have tons of Oilers fans who'd want to go down for at least one of the games. You want a lot of Flames fans who'd want to be there. It'd be unreal. Like, you have to, if you want a rivalry, you got to have ways to kind of juice the rivalry a little bit. So I would love to see more of it in the NHL. Heck, the Kings and the Ducks, right? Sharks and the Ducks. Pick your teams. Colorado, Dallas. Imagine the Avs flying in playing Dallas 2 in a row or vice versa. Go out east. Florida, Tampa. You're not even a Florida or Tampa fan. And you'd be like, what day is that game on? I'm watching. Because if the first game wasn't great, the second game would have more animosity. It'd be awesome. Montreal, Buffalo. Pittsburgh, Philly. Pittsburgh, Washington. Like, there's so many good opportunities here. Wake up, NHL. Wake up. The fact that the Elks play 18 games and 3 times they're playing the same team. Now, I know it's, they play, weeks. They don't play back-to-back games, but still, you're playing a Monday, Saturday at the Labor Day. You're playing a Saturday, Saturday. Like, at least you're playing the same team 2 in a row. I'd love to see more of it in the NHL. I think it would be awesome. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good for professional property services that you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
FIFA World Cup action. Spain leading Belgium 2-1. Currently in the 96th minute, Belgium's keeper Thibaut Courtois came off in the 71st minute with an apparent injury. In Wimbledon today was Jannik Sinner, the top seed, over Novak Djokovic in straight sets in one men's semi, and it was Sasha Zverev over Arthur Ferry in straight sets in the other. MLB action will get going at FIFA World Cup action. Spain currently leading Belgium 2-1 in the 97th minute. Belgium's keeper Thibaut Courtois coming off in the 71st minute with an injury. In Wimbledon action, it was Jannik Sinner over Novak Djokovic in straight sets and Sasha Zverev over Arthur Ferry by the same mark. MLB action will get going at 4:40 today with the Brewers and the Pirates, as well as the Phillies and the Tigers. And then tonight we'll see the Blue Jays in action in San Diego taking on the Padres. Shane Bieber on the bump for that one. Riverhawks will also be in action tonight versus Marion, 7:05 first pitch down at Remax Field. And the CFL rolling on as Week 6 continues. Toronto and Winnipeg at 6:30. I'm Declan Kruger. This is the Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium, July 11th. Don't miss an international doubleheader as Canada takes on Portugal and Tonga battles Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at Cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text VALUE to 780-777-7777 to start. That's VALUE to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Alberta, we're wild and tough and beautiful. We agree that good enough isn't good enough. And now everything that matters starts with a home and a family. At Lux, our family has been handcrafting windows and doors for this incredible place for over half a century. There's no place we'd rather be. Everything we are is Windows and Doors, a company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Have you made your favorite radio station a preset on the new and improved iHeartRadio app? What about your favorite podcast? Whatever you choose, it's as easy as a tap to make a preset. Just tap the app. And with the all-new live radio dial, it's easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love.
Just tap the app.
Plus, a new trending section and the lyrics to your favorite songs. Find out what everyone's talking about.
All new, always free.
Get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantor. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantor.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.304, welcome back, Jason Gregor. Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson. Spain is moving on. So Spain and France, two of the favorites at the start, are now going to meet in the semifinal. And we are down to 6 teams remaining in the World Cup. Tomorrow, 2 games, Norway and England. And then you have the final of the quarterfinal matchups, which will see Argentina and Switzerland go at it at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, we got a lot of texts coming in, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Lotto Max tonight. $25 million and 25 prizes of $100,000. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. Now, we got a lot of people text in, hey, Gregor, the NHL can't do that because of arena availability. Guys, I don't understand what you mean. The Oilers have a 4 or 5 game homestand multiple times in the season. Why can't they play one team 2 of those games? Has nothing to do with arena availability. That doesn't change it at all. Philadelphia is coming into Edmonton. Then they go to Calgary. Then they go to Vancouver on a road trip. Why can't they play 2 games? Because Calgary sometimes are in Edmonton are on 5 and 6 game homestands. And again, you're only going to do this twice at home, twice on the road. Venue availability has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Edmonton, look at their schedule. It'll come out next Thursday. And we can go through it. And it's going to be very easy to say, oh, look, here's LA. They got a 4-game homestand. And they're playing Edmonton. And they're playing Calgary and whoever they're playing. Well, Edmonton just plays there twice that time. Honestly, it would be simple. It has nothing to do with arena availability. I can tell you that. That has 0 to. You already have the home dates, right? The opposition of the home dates is irrelevant, right? Now, teams will go do road trips, sure, right? And that's why it would never be against Eastern teams, right? It's only going to be because you only play them once a year at home or once a year on the road. It's going to be against teams in the Pacific, and it could even be teams in the Central Division for Edmonton. If you're a Metro team, you could do it against Metro teams or Atlantic teams. Why the NHL? I'm going to talk to the schedule maker again because I would love to just give me a reason why. Because actually last year there were a few teams who did it. So they even do it, but they're like, well, you know what? We only want one team to do this. It's wild, man. It's wild to me. So we'll see. We welcome in Wanye Gretz in very bright. What do you got on there? Holy cow. I almost need shades of that thing on. It's kind of like a yellow, but almost fluorescent. I've just never seen that bright of a color.
It's a hot day. Got to cool down. Wear a different colored hoodie.
You wear a hoodie on a hot day?
Yeah, because it's cold in here.
Dude, you haven't been in here this week. It ain't cold in here.
Doesn't feel like it today. Actually.
You're going to be sweating bullets here in about 5 minutes.
Good times. Good times.
Yes.
I was listening on the way in, and your idea of back-to-back home games with a team, it was great.
Yeah. Like when they did it in the COVID, it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember you saying it then. You're like, one of the things that's going to probably come away from this weirdo season is they see that people get really excited for the second half of a doubleheader.
Yes.
They freak out for it.
Yeah.
It's
right
like
there.
a zero-cost move.
Yes. Totally. It actually saves them money.
Yes. When you said it saves travel, I was nodding my head in traffic.
Like you want to be and say, hey, you know what? We can be a little bit more green because now there's less flights. Like there's so many reasons that this could win. Players have talked about, this season's longer. It's more travel. Well, here's a way to reduce it a little bit. Right. And if you reduce a little bit here and there, hey, you know what? We want to bring it back, whatever. We're rolling back 3% travel. Well, that's better than increasing it by 3%.
I read that the average NFL team's travel costs are like $30 million a year. So say the NHL is who knows what, because there's way longer seasons. A 5%.
Now, the NFL has a bigger group, but really that many.
That's what it said.
Travel was $30 million.
Yeah, for all the offices and ballrooms and 20 floors of the hotel and the big traveling entourage.
Yeah, they have a pretty big entourage,
right?
When they travel.
And they bring like training equipment and their own food. So the NHL is a little bit less in terms of the entourage size, but the season's longer. So if you could save 5% of your travel costs, that's a season of Cal Pickard hockey.
Yeah, it's true. I like I've said, I've been waiting for anybody to tell me one negative to having, and I'm only starting small by having twice at home, because now you have 42 home games. So the other 38 will still be the normal, and 4 of them will be Kings twice in a row and then Vegas twice in a row, for instance. Right? And honestly, I would look at it and see, okay, based on last year, who are some? Was there something that was a little bit more oomph? Maybe they met in the second round of the playoffs. No brainer, right? Like Edmonton, Vegas, right? Like I'm telling you, if Edmonton went into Vegas twice, imagine Oiler fans. I could go on a road trip to Vegas and see the team twice. I could go on a road trip to LA and see the team twice. Like lots of options here for everybody involved to make it better.
And one of the things they're grappling with, and a lot of leagues are, how do you make like a random February game important? Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
Make it a Subway Series back to back. And suddenly game 63 of the season has a whole new significance to it.
Hey guys, I was at the game last night. It was amazing. We had so much fun. The LRT showed up every 17 minutes. When they know the game is over or about to be over, can't they just tighten that up for about 30 minutes to clear the people? I'm going to try something different next game. I would pay to have the train come more often from Catherine. Catherine, that is a very valid point. Right? Because you can organize it. Okay, we know it's Thursday night. Game on average probably is going to end close to 10 o'clock. It's usually how it is. Sometimes it's a little bit shorter now, right? So let's say so you run now for half an hour instead of, now we'd have to talk to somebody on the LRT. If it was 17 minutes apart, is it 12? I don't know what's doable. I have no idea. But it would make sense. Like people have, you bring in more vehicles. Uber drivers and taxi cabs purposely go and hang outside the facilities when they know there's more people there. Right? It's not like you have to go more. You're just having more in the short area. Hey, we want to get people out. Let's try to get people out. Now, I don't know. Now, do they have enough trains? I have no idea. So there'd have to be a question to the city, but I think it's a fair question. Because what's going to happen when you start to get more people coming again to the games?
They probably forecast these things in advance, and there probably aren't a lot of fans going. The incremental cost of adding like another train every 5 minutes.
Yeah, so they're probably looking at it. Yeah, right. They might look at it. But again, it's only 9 games a year.
But chicken and the egg, though, right? If you don't have the subway capacity,
yes,
you're not going to be able to take all the people off the platform.
Yeah, so you look at next Friday's game. I would guess it'll be the biggest crowd of the year, unless there's a monsoon. I would plan that there'd be an average. Let's just be realistic and say it's going to get up to 24,000. Now, they would know, they have tons of data. How many users do we have if we have 24,000, if we have 16,000, whatever it is. They must have that data. I would assume if you ran the LRT as long as you had. Like, it's not new that the Elks are at the stadium like, oh, geez, we've never had a football game at the stadium.
But the attendance is way down.
No, but you'd have years of
I see
data.
what you're
You
saying,
can go
yes.
back and look, okay, on a Friday night when you have 24,000, what's the average number? Like, there's no way they wouldn't have that data.
It's guessing how many people go to the game that's hard, probably.
Yeah, I know, but you can make an educated guess, right? Give or take a few thousand. Like, I don't think the difference between 22 and 24,000 is going to be monumental for the LRT.
What was the attendance recorded last night?
I think it was 17, something like that.
Is that up year on year?
Thursday nights haven't been great.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously up from game one because it was a monsoon, so can't really count that. But like last year, the Elks had a few games that were 28, 29,000.
Right at the end of the season, right?
One was in August.
Yeah.
And that Saskatchewan game normally gets a good crowd, but winning will help. Historically, it's always done it. You get a winning organization. Chris Morris was very honest in telling us that he had a lot of bridges that he had to mend when he took over as president, right? And I know they've done a ton of stuff. Like it's not Copper Jacket-esque, but there are a group of local business people that have been involved. They've sat down, they've had meetings. Okay, how can we go about? And now they're starting to kind of put their tentacles in different areas in the community. I honestly believe they should look at doing something like the Copper Jackets. I firmly believe it. It's infinitely more affordable. Like, you could get way more companies. You could say, you know what? I can afford 2 tickets to the Elks. Or like 2 tickets to the Elks. You get enough companies to do it. Season seats, like it's not remotely the same as 2 orders, right? First of all, it's only 9 games, right? I guess 10 if we talk a preseason game or playoff, but whatever the number is, right? And let's just say round number, it's $50 a game, $50 a ticket. So it's $100 a game. You can get season tickets for $1,000, right? There'd be lots of companies that say, you know what? I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'd be way more people than you think. And they build it back up because I think it's very important to the community to get the football team. It's probably not going to ever go back to the 80s. I understand that. But it doesn't if you can make it an event and the lower bowl is full at 32,000, that's fantastic. Right? You become very profitable as a team because I know what the number they need to hit is. So now every game, now you're making some money, great. But more importantly, you're building things like, when we had Chris Morris in studio last and he's talking about that facility they're building year round right by Clark Stadium. That's a massive thing that helps the community. It doesn't benefit the Elks. They're putting the money in. They're not going to be making cash after cash. Like, sorry, it's different than building hotels in the Ice District where you make all the money off of it.
What's the facility got in it?
It's going to be a year-round training facility for football, for minor football and minor soccer.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Right. And so I look at those are things, but again, it takes time.
I was at the game and then I went to the Riverhawks, drove past it. And that was a same time that night, right? Both games are going on.
Yeah.
And Riverhawks looked well attended too. So like overall, I think summer sports attendance is trending up in Edmonton, right? It just, the casual fan needs to know. And like you were talking already earlier today, at 4-1, they're actually number 1 in the league. You have a pretty fair bet that if you come to a game now, you're not going to see them get shellacked. Like they're more than competitive.
No, they're an entertaining team. There's no
Without
question
a doubt.
about it. So it's the old adage, build it and they will come. And I think eventually you'll have more people start to come, right? Like there's going to be some people that say, I'm not going because they changed the name. That's fine. I don't really understand it that much, to be honest, but that's okay. If that's what they want, that's what they want. But I'm like, if you're a real big football fan, why would you limit yourself to the opportunity? Like the name, it's just a name.
Can we be mad forever?
Well, some people choose to be,
I guess.
right? So, hey guys, they used to run them quicker and add cars to the train when there was 35,000 going to the games from Vic. See, there you go. So there's a way to do it, Vic. You're bang on. Like this isn't going to be overly difficult. And I'm sure the city, we could reach out and call somebody over there next week and just ask them, say, hey, what's the plan here? Somebody explain it to us. Very simple. Just so people know, hey, do you have, when we reach this threshold, we add more cars. It's probably that simple.
If Declan's calling the plays now for the Elks and you're calling the city and getting the LRT cars sped up, there's a lot of value in this room.
Now, here's a great question that I don't know the answer to from Inspector Trav. Hey, boys, can you tell me why Ford and Jackson have 2 mouth guards on their helmet? Never seen that before. Is that a superstitious thing? I honestly never even noticed. I always chuckle at some of the guys who have mouth guards, like in hockey or football. Half the time, they don't even wear it. I'm like, is this just a decoration? Right? Like, watch Leon Draisaitl skating down the ice, and he's just chewing on his mouth guard. It's comical to me. So I'll ask Ford and Jackson about it.
These guys need to realize the impact that they're having on the kids. Wanye Jr. the other day had an orange slice in his mouth, and he was playing with his little stick, and it was hanging out. And I said to him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Just like Leon."
Oh, well,
I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Why have it in your mouth altogether? Is there insurance reasons because they make so much money they have to wear a mouth guard?
No, you don't have to wear a mouth guard. Most guys wear it because when you put it in, if you're ever going to take an errant stick or a puck to the face, you got to, like, that's going to limit the pain. It's not going to reduce it completely, but it might save you from, having a chipped tooth and looking like Lloyd Christmas. So that's why they wear it. But some guys don't, right? Everybody's different. So I just kind of find it like the chewing on it. I don't know why. It just annoys me.
Just like Leon.
Like, no, but not him. Like Chucks. Like, there's lots of guys that do it. I don't know. I don't like it. Like, it doesn't impact my life. It's not like, it's just like kind of look at it. I'm like, it seems stupid. I'm like, either put it in or
take
don't
it
wear
out.
it. Yeah, one of the two. That's how I would do it.
Don't tease us.
Hey, Gregor, you're bang on. If they played Ottawa, Florida back-to-back, I'd be watching it for sure. Exactly. See, not only would it excite fans for your team, but you might watch 10, 15 minutes more of another game because of it. And that's what you want. You never as a company or a business are like, you know what? We don't want any new clients, right? Like sometimes, hey, you know what? Maybe depending on what your business is, we can't take on anybody else. There's a waiting list. Okay, that's a good problem to have. Right? And then you have to find a line like, geez, do we have to expand? How can we do it? That's always a challenge. But you're always looking to keep fresh. So, because there's somebody that just moved to the city, right? Somebody just moved here. They've never listened to Sports 1440 before. Happens all the time. So keep doing it. There's going to be people that every year, there's people go to their first Elks game, first Riverhawks game, first Oilers game every year, right? I haven't been in 5 years. That's how it is. So I look at the NHL, and this is such an easy thing to do that would, how about, I don't know, rewarding your loyal fans? Because we have not had one, because anybody who's a listener to this show is likely a diehard NHL fan or you're a diehard sports fan if you're listening to the station. No question in my mind. And so whether it's the Oilers or your NHL team, most fans I've talked to be like, yeah, I'd be up for that. Because again, it's not going to be all the games. We're talking 2 times a year, maybe 3, where you have it. And think about it, 6-month season. You do it in early November, do it in January, maybe you can do it in March. Like imagine in March, down the stretch, and now all of a sudden you got games back to back, and it's Edmonton and Dallas. And they're separated by 3 points and 2 points in the standings, even though they're not even in the same division. Maybe they're battling for first or second place. And that's going to be the difference of if they meet in the conference final. Now they're going back to back. Both fan bases like, ooh, it's going to be a big game.
I'm actually thinking about the NBA. They should do this too. They're coming up with every idea they can to make games relevant. They're painting the court a different color. They should do this too.
Yeah.
Part of the fun of the playoffs is they reset for the best of 7.
Yeah.
Bringing it to the regular season. You should start a petition, Gregor. Get 5,000 people to sign up. Send it to the commissioner. Say, how come?
Well, it's a fair question, man. Might not get a fair answer, but it is a fair question for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll return and we'll talk a little baseball next on the Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by playalberta.ca.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the bro zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
For silly hockey fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmar compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmar compact track loaders with ASB Posi Track at Emerald Equipment.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.327. Lovely Friday afternoon. How you doing? Get your tickets for Lotto Max tonight. $25 million and 25 prizes of $100,000 at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for tonight. We got a little MLB triple play, some CFL winners, and the Jays. We're going to ride the hit parade for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Nothing crazy, just a few actual hits. Dare to dream, dare to dream. Check it out at playalberta.ca. So, we'll see. Should be fun. When you look at the season, it's not always how you start. It's a little bit maybe how you finish more. And lately, they are finishing a lot. The Edmonton Riverhawks, after a little bit of a slow start, are really picking up steam as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings with the most diversified electrical contractor in the province, actionelectrical.net. As the manager of the Riverhawks, Jake Lanverman, joins us once again. Jake, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Well, Jake, you guys probably started a little bit slower than you wanted, but you really picked things up here in the last month. What's kind of changed for your club?
Yeah. No, the start obviously wasn't where we wanted to be. I think the first 10 we were 3-7, and it took a lot. The entire team kind of rallying together and getting everybody on the same page, and some late additions that we expected to get there eventually, kind of molded together to be the perfect storm where we're at right now. So 17-15 is a lot more ideal than the start for sure.
So you look at it now and how it works. Obviously, if you win the first half, you get an automatic spot in. So looking at your team, kind of, you know exactly where you're at. Do you just have to finish first or second in the second half? What do you need to do to make the playoffs?
So there's a front half and a back half clincher. Whoever outright wins the back half, the last 27 games, has the best record, clinches that back half spot. And then it goes to the two best overall records outside of that. So if Wenatchee was to win the back half, then it would be going down to the next three best overall records. So it's a little confusing. It's taken me a few years to really get honed into it. But all I know is if you keep winning baseball games, you're usually in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. So right now you guys have the fourth best record. So I guess theoretically that would put you in, at least in the North Division. You come off another series win. And as a coach, is that really what you're looking at? Say, hey, you know what? We just want to win series. Ideally, you'd love a sweep here or there, but it's just keep trying to win 2 out of 3?
Yeah, no, you nailed on the head. I think we've won 4 of our last 5 series. We've done a really good job as of late to play our best baseball. We had that 7-game win streak that really turned it around, and being back home is always ideal. It's tough to sweep series at this level. So especially losing the first one to Nanaimo 3 days ago, we found a way to win this series and continue to roll into Marion tonight. The strength of schedule, the front half is really challenging. We had a lot of teams that are notoriously playoff performing teams that we really tested our ability. And now I think we have 14 games left against teams that are under our record currently. So yeah, we're excited to keep kind of getting to where we need to be.
What do you know about the Marion Berries who will take on this weekend?
I don't have much. We've never played them in the 5 years that I've been coaching. They're a South Division team. So okay. It'll be kind of cool to get them for the first time here at Remax, but you can't really underestimate anybody. It depends what week and who's starting and all that good stuff. But they made playoffs last year. They know how to play good baseball. So we're just trying to continue to focus on us and what we can as of late.
I was at the game last week with my 5-year-old son, and he was very confused by the tree huggers concept. And I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, no, and he thought that the other team looked like what he expected the Riverhawks to look like. And I was trying to explain to him, no, the Riverhawks look like trees today. Could you explain to me what the idea was so I could explain it to him?
Yeah, so every summer we do an alternate identity. So it's kind of our fun play on summer ball and the ability to wear some pretty wacky uniforms over the years. So yeah, I've been around for them all. We had Talus balls, we had Silver City Dragons. Last year was Green Onion Cakes, and this year for a few select games we're the River Valley Tree Huggers. And we're 3-0 in those uniforms, so I won't complain too much, I guess.
Are the pants made of like velour, or what are we dealing with?
It's very similar. It's a similar material. It might look a little unique from the stands, and I know there's a woodpecker and a squirrel on our log pants, so it's a fun play on. But yeah, it's a little different for sure.
Now, Jay, having been here with the team, do you keep these special unis? Do you have them all hanging in the closet?
I like to have a good collection of the ones that we've worn over the years. My favorite being the Trappers throwback we did a couple years ago. And then the Strikeout Cancer jersey this year was just phenomenal. That was a really great one.
Yeah, no, the Trappers, well, it brings back great memories for a lot of people, for sure. Looking at your team specifically, you mentioned the wins, and I've seen it. It's kind of being, some days it's your bats, some days it's your pitchers a little bit. But looking at your pitching rotation for this weekend, who you got going in the 3 games?
Yeah, we have Sam Coxon going tonight, which we're really excited about. He's our kind of true ace. This will probably be one of his last. It will be his last start before we lose him to innings. So he just signed with OSU, Oregon State University, on a full scholarship. So we're really excited about that for him. But yeah, I think we're in a really good spot. The other game, the second game against Nanaimo, we won 3-2. We used 4 pitchers back-to-back that were all brand new and hadn't pitched for our team yet. So there's some promising arms to get us through the back half. And I think everybody's coming together at the right time and getting on the same page.
Okay. What about at the plate? How have you liked your offense overall?
Yeah, I think, the first 10 games, I think we were hitting maybe collectively 213 or 215. And now we're sitting at, I think, 264, and things are, I think we're 5th in the league with average, and we're hitting a lot stronger. We're making it tough on pitchers. We're finding ways to get on base, whether that's a walk, a hit by pitch, or a well-hit ball placed somewhere. But yeah, we've had obviously our all-stars with Easton Andrews and Shiru Sato, and some other really big bats that have been doing it for us over and over again this whole summer. So I like where we're at offensively for sure.
And I think off the field and in the stands too, as somebody who's gone to games at that ballpark for a long time, you guys are dialed in. Like, we were really impressed when we were there, having now service in the stands and having bar setups there and all the concessions open. It was a really good experience for the fan. You guys really should be commended for the job you're doing.
Yeah, well, appreciate it. That's definitely, I know the admin side and everything work extremely hard to keep making it easier and easier for fans to get food, get drink, and enjoy the game at the same time. And yeah, it can be challenging when we're getting the support that we have been, and I know that's been a main focus. So that's good. It's great to hear.
Jake, you mentioned that you're losing guys, and that's kind of part of it. We were at the Canada game, and I think I counted like 53 players on the roster, or at least 33 players that were dressed standing for the anthem. Obviously, you're not having 53 all the time. You just have that many because that is there like a transition period? Some are going to be on their way out, so we have to fill them in. Is that why there were so many?
The Canada game is a huge selling point for all of our guys to come, and it's the one game of the year that we kind of don't want many guys to miss out on. So That's usually our crossover date. That's when that series, the Canada series, is when we go from front half to back half in our schedule, and that's when we have our front half guys and our back half guys kind of crossover. So as of right now, I think we have 38 players on our team that are not here locally in Edmonton. We usually have 4 to 5 guys from our Edmonton Collegiate Hawks team that are also on the bench, and then a couple guys that have been getting in regularly too, which is awesome. But yeah, that's the big roster in Canada, but it's fun to let them all experience that, and I try to get in as many guys positionally as we can to experience that, just because it's a special night.
It is, and obviously it was rain delayed for a little bit. What do you do as a coach during a rain delay? What's your strategy in the room?
I'm usually talking to the umpires, trying to see if we can get this game going or not. So it's just consistent between checking the field, talking to them, and I know they got to call the league and see if everybody's on the same page to get her back going. But hey, when the rain delays usually happen, we don't know how many people are going to stick it out. But Canada is the one day we know everybody's waiting for the fireworks, so it wasn't too much stress, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. How closely? Now that you've been here for 5 years, Jake, like how closely are you working, kind of with the business side of the team, even though you're the manager?
There's a lot of things on the baseball operations side specifically that that I've kind of learned to help out with in our organization. But 5 years working with a lot of these individuals has been just a great experience. I know I've seen Steve Hogel and Ryan Gregg, Matty Murdoch kind of grow into this masterpiece of what we have and how hard they work to make everything off the field so great. So fortunate that they do everything that they do so that we can put a good product on the field and hopefully keep fans that are here to watch the baseball specifically for sure.
Well, Jake, good luck against the Berries this weekend. Hopefully you guys can get a series sweep and just keep moving on up the standings to secure yourself a spot in the playoffs once again.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
That is Jake Lanferman, manager for the Edmonton Riverhawks. If you want to check out some Riverhawks action, of course, they are playing tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Of course, 7:05 tonight and tomorrow, and then 1:05 on Sunday.
When we look at the Elks and their attendance and their attempt to, rebuild bridges in the community, the blueprint's right there. Like the Riverhawks have done an amazing job over the last few years of improving steadily season on season. And when I see the people that are going into games, because I live right near there, it's not baseball experts looking to see a 75-mile-an-hour knuckler. I don't even know my numbers, Gregor.
Yeah.
It's people who are nice, who are looking for a nice time.
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe in the long run, the Elks can't find nice people looking for a nice time
totally agree.
With 20,000 more people a night.
Yes, you can. Like there's fewer games, right? Like look how many games the Riverhawks have. The Elks only have 9 regular season games and one preseason game. And then obviously, hopefully playoffs. And for the first time in a long time, it looks like there's a good chance there'll be a playoff game. Now, whether or not it's at home, we'll see. But that definitely helps. And it is one where they dug themselves a hole. Not this current regime. Chris Morris had nothing to do with the previous one. Obviously, it's funny. Ed Hervey comes back and suddenly the team's starting to be more successful again. Like it's not a fluke. Go back and look pre-Ed Hervey days, how the team was from 2007, right? Now, he was part of the team in scouting, but he wasn't, trust me, he wasn't trading Ricky Ray. I can tell you that right now, right? That was their GM in the middle of the night, one of the worst trades in history. But all of a sudden, Hervey comes in as the GM. Now the team gets better. Then they win a Grey Cup. Now he leaves. Then the team just in the ditch again. So you need good leadership. I think they got good ownership. They have strong ownership who's committed to, unfortunately right now, sadly, committed by losing money. They're not making a lot of money right now with the organization, but they, Chris Morris and his team, they made a lot of changes on the business side. They had to get some of the people out of there that just weren't on the same page as Chris Morris, who's much more of a glass half full type human. He just is, right? Like anybody who sees him around, I had a guy who emailed the show, and man, I should try to find that email because he talked about, he sent an email complaining to the Elks, right? And he didn't like what they were doing. And I got to see if I can find the email. And he was pretty annoyed. And he goes, but here it is. I found it from Jonathan. He goes, guys, I had an interaction with Chris Morris. I was a previous season holder and was offered a credit early in the year for any tickets and, been going. I'm a new father and I wanted my son to go. I think the CFL is very important. I was about to pull the trigger until I read a headline about Chris re-engaging the team and the change debate and all that sort of thing. I was pretty frustrated. My exact words were, you're actively turning away businesses to allow this to continue. Today, I received a detailed, personalized email from Chris. It was 4 paragraphs long. He was fair, thoughtful, and explained himself in a greater context. Well, I'm not sure I agree with him. I was so impressed by his leadership, it would have been easy to never respond to my rant-filled email, yet he took the time to respond and further laid out the changes the organization hopes to make to improve. And that's it. We don't always have to agree on something, right? Like there's sadly people out there, that guy said something I don't like. Now I'm going to hate him forever. Like it's so childish. It's not childish. Watch kids. They argue and fight. They cry. Siblings get mad. And then the next day they're best buddies, right? But now all of a sudden as adults, well, you know what? You might lean left or right. I can't be friends with you. Like it's embarrassing. And so I think, you know what? The fact that you take the time to say, hey man, I'm not trying to change your mind, but this is where I'm coming from. Whether you agree or is irrelevant, but now you know where I'm coming from. Have a great day. Smart.
When we went to talk to Chris about Elks Nation, I thought it was a really interesting experience because I've been talking to the Elks for 15 years and I've dealt with various regimes and everyone's always very nice, right? And the moment for me that I was like, well, because I mean, our time is short, right? We got a lot of stuff to do. We're not like sitting around looking for things to put our time towards, you and I. And we were talking to him and I said something to him. I said, we know what we're going to need if we do this is a helmet for our set. And he turned around and grabbed his helmet off the desk and handed it to me and said, here you go. And I thought, that's a leader, man. To take your own helmet off your desk, like in the moment in your first meeting and be like, we're committed. I was like, these guys deserve the benefit of the doubt. And I think fans should make the same conclusion.
Yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, they kind of have to pay for the sins of their predecessors, but you can't hold them accountable for that. They didn't do it. So you know what? You could say, hey, I've been really frustrated with the previous regime. Okay, that's fair. I listened to you, but we're not the previous regime, right? It's like if you get a new girlfriend, you're like, yeah, but my previous girlfriend did this. The girl's like, well, yeah, but I'm not. That's her. This is me. If you can't get over your previous girlfriend and how she treated you, then you're never going to be in a good relationship moving forward. So at some point, you got to move on.
That's a very good analogy.
Yeah,
you got to draw a line, start a fresh page.
100%.
I think of all the fun I've had back in the day at Eskimos games. And I think about my son who's 5 years old and the experiences in Edmontonian I'd like him to have. And like we do secret handshakes. And one of the things we do is at the end, we yell high school football.
Yeah.
And we do the touchdown.
Yeah.
Because yelling high school football as a kid at Elks games was a thrill.
Yep.
And I think you got to decide. The girlfriend analogy is perfect. Like, what kind of time do you want to have? Do you want to have a good time? Or do you want to be mad about stuff that happened 8 years ago?
I always like to bug John Sexsmith all the time because when I was, I'm younger than Johnny, not by a ton, but I'm still younger than him. And so he was the guy who was always, another football in the end zone for high school football. If you went to an Elks, you heard it all the time. And when I got to know John, I'd always do it. He's like, yeah, I get it. Like it was just like a funny running little gag. But I remember that, man. It was simple and short, but you remember that. And there's small little details like, so I was sitting in the crowd last night with my buddy Tom, and he had his twins, and they're 10. And his young boy, his twin boy, son and daughter. And the greatest part of the game for his son was every time, like when they scored a touchdown on the first drive, because it was his first football game he'd ever been to. And they scored, and all of a sudden people are running by and they're throwing footballs. And he's just like, what is this glorious thing? He's like, yeah, when they score a touchdown. And so when Edmonton got an interception, he jumped up thinking that they're going to, he's like, no, you got to be a touchdown. Oh, okay. And so as much as he would cheer but he was just like ravaged about the chance he could catch a football. And then he got one. So of course, it was the greatest day of his life. And it's funny. I still see people I watch people go crazy over the t-shirt toss. I never understand it. But I get why a kid gets fun because you can use that football. You'll play it at home, you take it home with you. You play with all your friends. Where'd you get that? I got it at the Elks game. And then other kids want to go. It's genius, right? And I was telling him how you can go on the field afterwards. And he's like, what? Yeah, just go get in line. You get that. It's $10 or maybe it's 15 now. $15. You can go on the field every game after the game this year if you're 12 and under for a kid. Well, that's my son. The reason we got season tickets was because even when they were losing, he's like, yeah, Dad, we're not leaving. I'm going on the field. Right. And it was genius, right? Like it was genius because the kids go on the field and what does he do? Him and his friends. Okay, you be at the 20. I'm going to be the quarterback. You're the receiver. And then they emulate him. Right. And that's how they remember that. And so now he's almost aged out because this is the last year he can go. And I was like, yeah, buddy, you better enjoy it. This is your last year. What do you mean? Well, once you're 13, you can't go. What? So he was all fired up about it. But either way, you get people to do that. The Riverhawks do it in baseball. Small little things, it builds up. It takes time. It's not everybody's like, oh, don't complain about other fans. Like, I hate when media people say, oh, I can't believe it. Are you paying? Because sadly, most of the media guys aren't paying. So zip your lip about telling people to go to the games, right? You shouldn't do it. Like, unless you got season tickets and say, hey, you know what? I think it's a good thing to do. Support the community, even if it's only one game. If every Edmontonian went to one game a year, they'd easily get 30,000 fans.
It's funny to think of what drives your enjoyment of the game because the general manager is like, should we get a new player? You might be better off, general manager, buying 5 bouncy castles for your parking lot and letting kids under 8 bounce for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look at the Riverhawks, when you look at the Stingers, they've done a great job of their fan experience. The Stingers, I don't know if you've been to a game. Like,
oh yeah,
it's big league, right? Yeah. It's fun. We went and sat courtside. It felt like J-Lo. It was amazing.
J-Lo, eh? That's the person you felt
yeah,
like?
Exactly. Like, just like J-Lo.
Yeah.
And the Elks are starting to turn the page on that too.
Yes.
Like every year you see, I honestly think it's introducing the elements of fun. And every year I've been impressed with the Elks of late that there are more fun elements being introduced into the game. They did a thing at the Riverhawks where they covered people in ketchup and mustard. And I was like, this is ridiculous. It was like a challenge. They were on a slip and slide.
Okay.
They were doing hot dog night. They kept yelling weenie at a guy, and we didn't know what was going on. And I watched this guy getting ketchuped. I'm like, this is preposterous. But then I looked at a 5-year-old right beside me who looked at this as though he was at the World Series. He was so excited. You have to experience these things through the eyes of your fans. And it's not necessarily the quality of ball. The Riverhawks play good baseball. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not like people are like, wow, I'm here to see the center fielder because they just signed him and this is crazy. It's like, how fast can I get food and how delicious is it? And the Riverhawks have done every single concession, Gregor, was full and was staffed. I've been going to games there for 15 years. I can remember when you'd walk in, there'd be one thing open. And one time the guy told me they're out of beer. In the Cracker Cat days.
Oh, yeah.
When it was $2 for hot dogs and I would go there 4 nights a week because I didn't want to cook. I lived off those baseball stadium hot dogs.
Well, lots of people did, man. Lots of people did. We'll take a quick break. We'll return to Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think,
wow, great hair transplant.
I want them to think,
wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Like to score a winning deal at Car West Leduc. Like raising the cup in your hometown on your birthday. Feel it now. Car West Leduc. Experience a vast, uncompromising selection of top-quality used vehicles with no extra fees. Trucks, sedans, vans, SUVs, and more. Backed by family-run service and top dealer ratings on Google. So when the final siren goes, you go home with a deal you'll never forget. Car West Leduc, 6514 Sparrow Drive, Leduc, or at carwestautosales.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Man, it is a jam-packed show right now. Hey, guys, isn't it a concussion thing, too? Concussions from your teeth clenching together in a hit? Yeah, possibly, but if you're never wearing it, how does that help? So, no, I understand that. I all know why they're supposed to wear it, but chewing on the thing all the time is the only part that I don't get. Hey, Gregor, the only negative I see to back-to-back games is if you had been injured to a star player or multiple injuries and it's a divisional game, that could put a hurt on your spot in the standings of the team. Yeah, maybe, but, injuries are going to happen at any point. And again, this is only going to be for 8 games out of 84. I'm starting 2 sets on the road, 2 at home. So let's say you're going on the road and you got to play LA once and Anaheim once instead of playing LA twice. What's the difference? It's still divisional games, right? And maybe one of those teams is like, who knows? Maybe you get LA when they're bad or in a down year. To me, the worry of if you have a player hurt, but if you have a player hurt, you still had to play the 2 games regardless. And who knows? Maybe instead of having 2 against Anaheim, you might have had against, pick or poison. Maybe it was Anaheim and then you're going to Colorado or something. So, I don't know. Injuries are just part of it that we have to accept.
I really agree with your point, though, that it would drive travel to that city from the opposing team.
100%.
We do nation vacations.
Yes.
We've hosted hundreds of Oilers fans over the years on the road. We've gone through the economics of it with them. How much is it? That's crazy. I mean, it's a very expensive trip. If there was a second game they could attend,
yes,
you would see way more people making the trip.
100%. Right. And now, if it's Vegas, if it's Dallas, if it's Nashville, if it's Colorado, you pick the place. Heck, if it's Vancouver, people would look, hey, I got some family friends there. Hey, we're going to Vancouver, whatever. They're playing a Friday, Sunday, do something on a, you could make it anytime a trip where you have 2 games. Because I know a lot of people like to go on road trips, but they end up going to like a baseball game or an NFL game. And they're like, yeah, I like it, but it's not the team I really want to see.
All I care about is the Oilers. When I go on a road trip, I want to see everything Oilers. You should get Bill Daly on the show and pitch him.
Yeah. And Greg's, I couldn't even imagine all the other events you could have in a city for that weekend on your Oilers Flames idea. That would be epic. Well, it's true. And I know people are like, well, Gregor, that's benefiting Calgary. It doesn't matter. I'm just talking from an experience standpoint. When you think about it, when they talk about what you want to do, you want experiences because it's hard to put a price tag on experiences, whatever that experience is, right? Maybe all of a sudden you go to the opera and you're like, God, that was way better than I thought. Or whatever it is for you. Movies, some movies experience. Those are great. Now, some might be a dud, we get it, but some are better than others. And to me, if you had it, the new arena opens up in Calgary. Now, who knows? Maybe it'll be ended up, they're not going to play at home. They're starting on the road for 6 games because they want to ensure that everything's ready. It's possible, right? Or whoever, and it doesn't even have to be, because I probably wouldn't play Edmonton on the home opener because the home opener is going to be massive anyway, right? But if I had, early in October where we have a Battle of Alberta, 2 games, Friday, Saturday nights in Calgary against the Oilers, or bring it back to Battle of Alberta. Are you kidding me? It's a marketing dream.
All the would improve.
Yes, they would all improve. Because nowadays, somebody hit somebody bad. And when do we play them next? 3 months?
Yeah.
It's gone. Right? And what are you worried about, NHL? That your fans might actually get more emotionally connected to the games? Oh, God forbid that happens. Oh, we might have one more fight. Oh, God. As we all know, rarely do people get hurt in the fights. Extremely rare. Look at the numbers. Especially nowadays that you don't have the trained super heavyweights anymore.
If you're paying attention, Commissioner Daly, Vice Commissioner Daly, it reduces your travel costs. It increases the relevancy of irrelevant games. It encourages all your regional rivalries, and it makes the regular season more important. What more could you want? I can't think of anything else they could do that's effectively free that could bring all those benefits to the game.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like it is, and it doesn't mean that every doubleheader is going to be out of the park awesome. You can't ask for that. That's how many times do people get fired up and think, okay, this game's going to be good. And then we watch the game and it's like, man, it wasn't really that good. Happens all the time. So I'm not going to say that every one that you have where you play the same team in the same city twice in a row, it might be back-to-back nights, but it could easily be a Friday, Sunday. It could be a Tuesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter when it is. It cuts down on travel. It increases the odds of the second game having a little bit more heightened emotion, and more importantly, a little bit more hype, because it could be something as simple as, so-and-so cheap shot at a guy or said something after the game. It doesn't have to be like a full-on brawl to get people excited about it. Heck, it might have been an unreal game. It's 5-4. It's back and forth. And you're like, God, that was a great game. Because we have regular season games that are great. And then you're like, now these two teams are going to go at it again in 2 days. Sign me up.
I thought it was really fun during the one shortened season with the Canadian division. Facing the Leafs over and over and over again, facing the Habs, it was a good time. They learned nothing. They learned absolutely nothing.
Hey, Gregor, great idea, though, but usually teams combine road trips to Calgary and Edmonton. With a team like Dallas, would they play 2 in Edmonton, then also play 2 in Calgary, Dan and Wetaskiwin? Well, not really, Dan, because remember that they will, and I can go look at the Central team. Not every road trip that they do is automatic Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. Sometimes it's 2 of them. Sometimes it's 1, because every second year in the Central, you got to come, you play in Edmonton twice, and then the next year you only play once, right? So again, it might only be in division to start. It doesn't matter to me, but you're cutting it down automatically. You are, because if Dallas is coming in and they're still going to have a 3-game road trip, and Dallas could easily do it if they wanted to do on one road trip, 2 in Calgary and 2 in Edmonton, 1 year, no problem, right? You could do Nashville. Nashville to Edmonton's pretty far. Like, what about Nashville the year they got to go to Vancouver, or the year Vancouver has to go to Nashville? If you said, hey, you know what? Instead of 2 trips all the way to Nashville, you're only going to have to do 1. You're just going to play them twice. Once every 8-10 years. It's a small amount, but it all adds up. So that's how you'd have to do it. Like sometimes you're going to have lots of teams that come to Edmonton, that come to Calgary, right? Again, we're talking 2 road trips a year. Not even road trips, just 2 times on the road where you play in the same city twice to start and see how it goes.
If you're fixing problems, I got one more for you.
Sure.
You know those cool sabers of beer those fans get to drink out of? Have you seen these? They're plastic sabers filled with beer.
In Buffalo?
And they raise them up?
Yeah.
Can you invent something like that for us?
Wow.
Because that'd be sweet.
Here's the thing. If we're going to be bluntly honest, the Oilers organization doesn't necessarily have a reputation of lots of fun at their games. Right? Like they don't. Like they've been, you know what? They look and say, hey, we don't have to change things. People come, which is true, right? Playoffs, obviously they do things different in the playoffs, but I think it's kind of sad that in North America in general, we really only like to make the games an event in the playoffs. It's not just in Edmonton, it's around the league, right? Like that there's some places that are better. Like look at Vegas. The reason Vegas became a place that people are like, oh my God, look what they're doing. Right? Like from day one, their pregame in the regular season with the night and everything was awesome. Fans are like, God, I wish we had something like that. Right now, you got to be willing to spend the money, but that gives your fans something to want to go to. Because even the most diehard season ticket holder, like I wonder how many of you go to all 41 home games as a season ticket holder.
One thing I
bet you it's a small percentage.
One thing I'm blown away that's gone away. Back in the late 90s, I was a little kid going to games. Do you remember the pregame show, how great it was when they did the renos to Northlands Coliseum, put the new scoreboard in? Like the one year they were out at Capitol Raceway and they were racing. Do you remember these pregame shows that Don Metz used to do?
Oh, yeah. I remember the one when they had Smith and LaRock and they would, because their show intro, yes. They would go out and they did it at Castle Raceway, right? And they had them out there racing the vehicles. And then there was another one time, they had them in it was like a theme. Yeah, I thought it was great.
And I remember being a kid and going to those games, and it would go dark, and then they would say, "You are watching Oiler Vision, the sound and the fury," and everybody would go crazy. And I started. That's when Oilers Nation popped into my head. I was like, how come there isn't like a thing like that? What is Oilers Vision? What are we even talking about? Also the derrick coming down from the roof. It's stupid, but like the tradition of going to the game and it would get toxically smoky in the old arena from the fireworks. But when that derrick started coming down, I remember as at the first time they did it.
Yeah.
And we all came in and we saw the derrick up there. This is pre-social media, and they'd managed to keep it mostly a secret. And when that derrick first came down from the roof, like there were nights that derrick was half the fun.
Yeah. That's very true.
They got to bring back the pregame excitement, because that used to be like Metallica and that. Now, obviously, in the playoffs, it's really exciting. But like that year that I think it was George LaRocque in a Plymouth Prowler, it was thrilling to watch.
833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, half the games guys are just trying to get through. What if there's more incentive, like the winner of the series gets home ice if they play in the playoffs? If we're talking about 3-game sets within the division, Jordan. Yeah. See, now we're getting too gimmicky, Jordan, and the player, they're never going to go for that. You can't have 2 games in November decide playoffs. No chance. We don't need to do it. The Labor Day has been historic in the CFL for a long time. There was no gimmick to it. You didn't get extra points if you wanted, but you played. And it used to be on the Monday and the Friday, which is wild. Now it's Monday, Saturday. And it's been tradition for a long time, and people loved it. So you don't need gimmicks. Just play the 2 games. That the game itself, they need to believe that their product's good enough. And you can add a little bit of animosity because fans, hey, man, I don't want to go. Like, they're not as excited about a Columbus game, or heck, the Wild are different now. But for many years, trust me, the Wild were not a team that you got overly riveted about, right? But everybody knows each organization in the West has every year probably 6 to 8 teams they could pick from to be the one that they play back to back. And like, if you were an Oilers fan, and because it's like, well, I don't want to have it rotate where I see all the teams. Fair, right? But Seattle and Vancouver are natural, right? They're natural to do it. Edmonton could do it with Calgary. But right now, Edmonton did it against Vegas. Oilers fans will be fired up. Imagine in Edmonton, Colorado, 2 consecutive games. McKinnon, Makar, right? All those guys, McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard. Not only fans in Edmonton and Colorado, fans around the league. I can tell you right now, Tampa Bay plays Florida back-to-back. I'm watching. Guaranteed I'm watching.
It's almost like a mini playoff series. And the coverage of it is like in the second game, why was this guy quiet in game 1? And you see a lot of revenge games in game 2.
Yes. And it doesn't mean they're all going to be that way, but it's just the potential for it is what sells. Let's get to Declan Kruger. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. If you're looking for a vehicle this weekend, stop in goauto.ca. They have over 15,000 vehicles for you to choose from. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. I highly recommend the Honda Pilot. If you're a little bit of a taller chap, you want a little bit more space interior, the Pilot's got more than enough room. Try one today. Goauto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
FIFA World Cup results from earlier with Spain over Belgium 2-1. Mikel Merino with the winner in the 88th minute. Thibaut Courtois subbed off in the 71st minute for injury for Belgium. In Wimbledon today, it was Jannik Sinner getting by Novak Djokovic in straight sets in one men's semi, and Sasha Zverev over Arthur Ferry in the other. MLB action will get going in about 35 minutes time here with the Brewers and the Pirates, as well as the Phillies and the Tigers. Jays also in action at 7:40 as they take on the Padres. Shane Bieber on the mound for that one. And the head of their weekend series with the Padres, they have dealt reliever Tommy Nance to the Minnesota Twins in exchange for minor league third baseman Ryan Sprock. Edmonton Riverhawks will also be in action tonight. 7:05 first pitch down at Remax as they take on Marion. And in the sporting world, Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani will miss the All-Star game because of a left knee injury. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber Video Game Night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save on Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
It's finally time to escape your 4 walls and see where your 4 wheels can take you. Sherwood Honda helps you head out on the road the way you want to, with the right vehicle, including freedom-seeking SUVs that give you the versatility to drive where, when, and how you want to. It sure would do some good to get out and stretch your horizons, and sure would be easier with Sherwood Honda.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through a lovely, positive Friday. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Declan Cougar with you. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We got a lot of texts flying in. Yeah, awesome. 833-401-1440. It's the Gregor Show every day, Monday to Friday. Here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Edmonton Elks, big win last night, 40-17. Justin Rankin, 3 touchdowns. He's up to 7 on the season already. On pace for 25. Which would, come on. I don't think he's going to get 25 touchdowns, but you never know. man, you never know. He gets in the open field and you can almost see it coming sometimes. You're just like, oh my God, this guy's going to score. And sure enough, there he does. And you know what? The one guy we probably haven't mentioned, he's perfect on the season. And Blanchard hit from 50 yards last night in only his second year in the CFL. He is 13 for 13 on field goal attempts this season for the Elks. Like, very quietly, just talk about a guy going about his business and doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
It's amazing the range of field goal kickers, how it's changed.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, it's one of the more dramatic things that you can see changing. In, like, 20 years ago, what was considered a routine field goal?
Well, anything above 40 used to be like, oh, okay, if you're good above 40, that's pretty good.
And now, like, some of these NFL kickers.
Well, even in the CFL, right? Like, you wait until we'll see longer field goal attempts in the CFL when they move the goalpost to the back of the end zone.
And why has this happened? Are people's legs getting stronger?
Well, it's no different than, stronger, faster, bigger. Everything. They train better. They have better technology. They know how to maximize the human body better than ever before. And that includes field goal kickers. Like, their leg strength, obviously, is much better, right? So you got Brett Lottler in Ottawa. He's actually 14 for 14. And you got Vinny Blanchard, who's 13 for 13. Those are the only two guys left who are perfect on field goals this year. And, Blanchard hit from 50. That was his career long or season long this year. Lothar has one from 51 yards. Malto Diaz in Montreal has a 50-yarder. And Arlahu has a 52-yarder. And, well, actually, Mark Leggio, actually, the longest is Jude McCatney from Calgary, a 57-yarder. So every kicker except Sean White and Alex Hale have field goals of at least 50 yards.
It's incredible.
Season. So they've not a surprise. We've seen it over time. And you're going to see guys here, like somebody, there'll be a 60-yarder. You just got attempted. It's not like that. No one's attempted it yet, right? And I think coaches eventually be like, you know what? These guys, coaches never used to attempt 60-yarders or even 55-yarders that often. Now they attempt them way more, which is good. Now, I do want to, hey, let's get to our little roundtable here, fellas, that we've been doing at 4 o'clock. Although, I'm gonna throw a curveball in it today because we have some breaking news that we want to discuss. So just because I'm really curious about this. So, how would you describe this as leadership, or maybe teammates not really liking each other? Declan, Kruger.
Yep.
Bam and Hero fighting in Vegas. What's happening?
Yeah, listen. Tyler had made a little bit of a comment about Bam after his departure from the team. They were at a summer league workout. I guess Bam kind of called him on it, and it got physical. It's a weird one because they had a lot of years and a lot of really good runs together. You thought it would be all cordial. You thought it would be all love. I kind of tend to fall in the camp that these are two guys who are ultimate competitors. Both have been all-stars for that team. Both were the two franchise players, and kind of quite bluntly, both felt that the other one probably held them back a little bit. And so I just think this was 7 years of that. And then, like, when Jimmy Butler left, who was going to be the alpha? We couldn't really figure it out between those two. Tyler was hurt. Bam was scoring 83. And then everything came to a head at this workout. So it's pretty crazy. It's something you would see from a fake Shams account, but that's kind of how I look at the situation from 1,000 feet away.
What did he say to annoy Bam?
He had just made a comment basically like the team wasn't where it needed to be, and like Bam wasn't doing what he needed to do in his role, and like things of that caliber. Like, it was he didn't come out and do an interview with Good Morning America where he was like, Bam Adebayo held us back. I needed the ball 25 times a game. Bam was the reason we didn't have success in the playoffs. It wasn't like that. It was a little bit more subtle. It was a little bit more kind of like just stuff you would say to get under the skin when you don't actually say what you really want to say, but everyone knows what you mean.
Okay. All right. Dak, what's your topic today, buddy?
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys are going to disagree with this one, and I'll keep it kind of quick here, but just keeping in theme with the World Cup, there's been every 4 years when the United States inevitably gets walloped by someone who's way better than them at soccer, they'd love to turn around and say, well, we would be better if our best athletes actually tried. And I don't think, like, I don't want to use the word never. That's disingenuous, but I cannot foresee America ever catching up to the rest of the world in soccer. And I don't care about the money they have to pour into these resources. I don't care about the population base or their other athletes. They do not have the right academy systems for it. Like people talk about, oh, look at our college football players and college basketball players. What if we put them in soccer? At 15 and 17, these guys in Europe and South America are getting senior team caps. Like you just do not have the development in the States, and you will never have the development in the United States, and that's why they'll never catch up.
You ever been to a Buc-ee's in the States, Declan?
Yeah, I've seen them once or twice. Never been.
I went to a Buc-ee's one time on a road trip, and I got out and I looked, and there was like 70 gas pumps. And every restaurant you can imagine is inside the gas station, and it's huge. And I was like, wow, we could never, ever do this at home. When the Americans get into something, it's a whole new thing. Never bet against the American machine. If all of a sudden they love soccer,
I'll happily bet against them in soccer.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Given a long enough time horizon, CTEs isn't like that like in other sports. There's a lot more kids going into that in the long run.
The only sports that, like, the best baseball player in the world is Japanese. The 5 best players in basketball are European or Canadian. The best players in hockey are Canadian and Russian. They're only the best at the sport they invented, which was American football. Like, that's all they have.
It's true.
What about sprinting?
Jamaica.
Jamaica's been pretty good.
Fair, but the Americans win a lot of Olympic medals in both winter and summer.
You know who won the most this
No,
past year?
not as much in winter. Like Norway got more medals than them in winter.
Don't bet against the States if they get good at something.
Trust me, man. Right now, I would be betting against them all day long.
They invented beer sabers. We have not
No
seen.
chance they invented that.
Who did?
Somebody in Europe. must
Every
have had
single
it.
sport in Europe can't sell beer anymore because they go crazy and try to smash each other.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Soccer games are sober because the TV deals are like, we don't want anybody shooting fireworks off. We don't want
They
chaos.
the one thing I don't get about European soccer is the flair infatuation. Like, I just don't get it. It's like, let's erupt this flare, and it's got all the colors right in your. That's the one thing I don't understand. But someone can explain it to me. Maybe I'll get it better. But I know it comes out in your color of your team. I get it, but it's not good enough a reason for me.
If you did that in Rogers Place, people would run away from you.
Well, no, it'd basically be like we were having the monster trucks inside at a hockey game, right?
Have you ever seen Croatian basketball? They're indoor leagues. People bring flares.
It's crazy. They love the flares over there. Like, they love flares.
It's honestly, I wonder if I would have the nerve to go to a Croatian professional basketball game. If anyone listening has been to one of these things where there's flares in the stands in an inside arena, hit us up.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous.
Well, fellas, you guys were, Jason, you were talking a lot about Isaac Howard earlier in the show today. And to me, like, if Isaac Howard is going to find his way in the NHL this season, he has to be a top 6 forward. I just don't like that. That third line looks like it's going to be a type of shutdown line, right? Obviously, Jason Dickinson going to be leading that third line. And to me, he can't play on the fourth line in a Mike Babcock system. To me, I think if he's going to make it this season, I think he has to be a top 6 forward. I do believe in the player, though.
I understand the rationale behind that. Because, Jason Dickinson is not necessarily but it was interesting listening to Dickinson, and he said, hey, man, I kind of can play whichever role I need to be, depending on what the strengths of my teammates are. If you need me a passer, I'll be a passer. If you need me more of a shooter, I'll be a shooter. Now, he's only really been a shooter for 1 year, and he did score 22 goals the year he was a shooter, and he had way more shots. So there is, I guess, some truth to that. I guess I look at Matt Savoy. Now, I know Matt Savoy got a lot of penalty kill minutes, so that's maybe the difference. But Matt Savoy was basically a third-line player for much of the year until Draisaitl got hurt, and then he played a ton in the top 6. So if I look, okay, I've got Hyman, I've got Podkolzin, I think I got Savoy as top 6 wingers. I could move Nugent Hopkins to my third line with Dickinson and play, Kapanen with them, right, if I wanted to, and then put Howard in the top 6. I could see it. I think they're going to give him that opportunity because you acquired him to be a shooter. So I understand it, but do I think that Howard, it's like I can only play in the top 6 or he's not going to play? I don't think so. I think he'll play in the top 9 and you would like more games with McDavid and Draisaitl, but the games that McDavid and Draisaitl play together, then you're going to want somebody on your second line, or the third line. They might be different roles at that point, right? Like, I'll be curious how the coach runs Dickinson. Is it going to be lots of hard matchups, or does he want a hard matchup more McDavid and Draisaitl? So that will impact it. But it's a fair statement because he doesn't kill penalties, whereas Matt Savoy killed penalties, so he could play in your third line because he was responsible defensively. But like, I brought in Hike Howard to be a shooter, so I would start him there in the top 6. But I don't think he has to stay there to be 6, because I'll guarantee you he's going to have a funk. He's a rookie. Most rookies have a funk at some point. Deck?
Yeah, I get the set. I tend to agree. Like with Donovan, I don't want to be boring here, and I don't want to hold up the segment either. But I just think, like, style-wise, like style of play, fit on what like a Babcock team would look like. I think I have to agree. It's a boring answer. It doesn't make for a great round table, but
you're doing your best.
I'm doing my best.
I'm excited. You know me, Gregor. I got real excited about Reed Schaefer. And you made fun of me then that I got a jersey made before he played a single game in the NHL. I may have jumped the gun a bit. I'm trying to hold back on Ike Howard. He showed up in a pinstriped suit, and he already had his own nickname, the Iceman. There's a lot here to like if you're a feral hockey fan that likes to make memes about hockey. I would be thrilled if he had a bigger role.
Well, yeah, I know. Like realistically, I could see him playing 14 minutes a night and still having most of those minutes as like in your top 6. Right? I could see that. And he'll get some shifts with other guys coming, power play and different things like that. And like, I know and I don't understand it, but there's lots of people pushing, you got to lower the minutes of the top unit power play. I think that might be the dumbest idea that I can recall. Like, do you know where McDavid was in power play minutes in the NHL last year? 11th. Right, 11th. Did Colorado's other guys score a lot of goals in Colorado? Yeah. Nathan McKinnon, Colorado had 3 guys with more power play minutes than McDavid, and 3 guys with over 300 minutes. Like, McKinnon was almost at like 363 minutes, and McDavid was like 280. Because I know that the thought process is, well, if you play him less, then the other guys get their cookies and they start scoring more. Yeah, but Colorado kind of bucks that trend. The difference was you could lower McDavid's minutes on the penalty kill for sure. I don't need to see him on the penalty kill. And even I could lower him a minute on 5-on-5. But the Oilers are the greatest power play we've ever seen. If you look at their stretch over the last 7 years, in that 7-year span, the Oilers have the number 1 power play in the NHL over 7 years. They've been the number 1 power play in 4 of those years. They've got the greatest 5-year total power play percentage at 28.5%. The Islanders also had 28.5 way back in like 5 years, from 78, I think, to 82. But over a 7-year span, no one ever had as high as the Oilers, 28.1. And you're going to take away their best weapon? No, I'm not doing it. I'll remove a shift 5-on-5, and I'll remove 2 shifts on the penalty kill, and that's how I get him down. Taking him to put your second unit guys? No, thank you. I think that would be a terrible idea.
The last ice time to take away is power play. That should be the last minutes you take away.
100%. When it's that dominant, like McDavid and Draisaitl are the 2 key. And don't underestimate Nugent Hopkins' contributions on the power play. I think I know he's not the flashy guy. He's not the big shooter like Draisaitl. He does a lot of little deft plays that really help the power play. But I do think that a Savoy or a Howard might be able to maybe Nugent Hopkins changes after a minute or so. I could see that. But McDavid and Draisaitl, if they're averaging $130, they're still averaging $130 for me. So that's how I would do it. We'll come back. We got 5 questions on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
You may get up early,
But more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Stay big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages, plus take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Favor. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Favor Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Favor, we've got your back.
Bracelli hockey fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV with a question. Are you camp ready? Camp Ready is our 12-month RV maintenance plan. You might think from talking to you on the radio or my online videos that I'm a do-it-yourselfer, but you'll notice the real work is being done by my maintenance team, the same team that looks after your RV when you become Camp Ready.
Camp Ready is a custom scheduled maintenance plan for your used RV.
That's right, Bob. For one predictable monthly fee, your fall winterization is handled, spring startup is on your schedule, roof assessments twice a year, and if something goes wrong during the summer season, guess who goes to the front of the line? That's right, people like you who are Camp Ready.
You're expanding Camp Ready memberships now, right, Rick?
Bingo, Bob. We're accepting 100 new members. We have to keep it limited due to the capacity of our team, so we know we can serve you dependably. Ask about Camp Ready next time you see us.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the New Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden. Rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LiveNetPhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Coming in 833-401-1440. We've touched on a lot of topics already in the show. I love it. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you get in the game tonight. Lotto Max, $25 million up for grabs and 25 prizes, $100K. And while you're there, check out the Jason Gregor Show especially we got a little CFL action for you. It's a little MLB, and we're going the Jays offense. Not anything crazy, but just a little bit of a hit-focused parade today for the Jays. Check it out at playalberta.ca. We need a double from Ernie Clement. So go, Ernie, go. Now, I do want to read this quick text. Hey, guys, talking about things we invented. I'm pretty sure Canada invented the keg stand. We're pretty good at it. Kevlar, you know what? Why not? We'll take onus of it. Who invented the keg stand? We could just say Canada. I can't confirm or deny it.
Can you imagine the first guy to do a keg stand at a party, and he gets up and he's like, here's what we're going to do. And they hoisted him up. Must have been electric in that room.
Yep. So they're saying that it started in, college and fraternity culture in the mid to late 20th century as metal beer kegs became the standard for dispensing beer. But the origin of it is not known, the exact origin. So we'll claim it.
I don't like how you said late 20th century there, like it was 400 years ago.
I'm reading what they're saying online. It's late 20th century.
I was around in those days.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. We're saving you more. That's what they do. Hey, their appliance sale is on this weekend. You need some appliances? Stop in at The Brick. Unbelievable savings on your appliances, but only for a few days at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Okay, question number 1. Following the Elks win last night, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but how many Elks, I said will, but let's say could be, West Division All-Stars this year?
I don't want to be disrespectful to the Elks deck, so let's talk this through. Like, who has a shot?
Well, Rankin's easiest.
Easy.
Right? Rankin's one. Mac maybe, but there's some receivers that are putting up huge numbers, so even he would be hard. I think you'd have to look at their offensive line. I think O'Donnell for sure. Beard would have been there, but now that if he's injured and he misses a few weeks, probably not. But I would say Beard for sure. On the defensive side, I think Cordell Jackson is going to get some love in that regard. I would also I would look at I think it's pretty much a no-brainer just based on how he's played. Or like if we were doing it right now, he would be an easy choice at the linebacker position. Joel DeBlanco has been phenomenal. Deck, do you see anybody else?
I would say if the voters watch the games and don't just check box scores, I think Terrell Ford and JJ Ross as well could get nods. But they will still need to put up some stats to make that happen. But those would be 2 I would add.
So that puts it at 7?
Yeah, like when you're a good team, usually you can get 5 or 6 for sure. 7 sometimes, right? Winnipeg, I think Winnipeg had 9 one year. Well, also like Blanchard would be up there for sure. There's him and the 2 kickers. So from a West Division All-Star, I think Blanchard has a very good chance because the only guy who's got more field goals is in the East in Ottawa.
Question number 2. Scotty Scheffler has missed the cut at the Scottish Open. First time it's happened for him in 4 years. What is the hockey equivalent of Scotty Scheffler missing the cut?
Well, it's hard because it's like one weekend of a season, right? I guess it would be equivalent to, McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov. They go pointless and -3, over a weekend set of games. It's kind of how, because it's two rounds for Scheffler. Like, I guess that would have to be it. I don't know.
I was thinking maybe like going on a 2-game road trip and going winless. Just one bad weekend.
Question number 3. Excuse me. Of all the teams left in the World Cup, who would you most and least like to see win?
This is a tough one because I really like Erling Haaland, which is not a controversial topic. But England, I watched 2 of the 3 episodes of that Beckham documentary, Deck. They were like spitting at David Beckham years later because he got a red card. Like they are so dialed into this and they've had such a long period of being terrible just to put the world at ease. I almost want to see England win.
And so who's least that you want to see win?
I don't have any beef with really anybody. I think if you can go the distance, good on you.
I probably wouldn't mind seeing. I guess if I had to pick a team to win Norway, team I'd least like to see win that's Switzerland because they're way too defensive.
Question number 4. Keeping it, we talked about this during the opening segment. Excuse me. Conor McGregor returning to the octagon for the first time in 5 years. Hasn't won a fight in 6 years. Win before that was 4 years prior. Is the interest and allure still there for you surrounding Conor McGregor when he fights?
I'm not a big MMA guy, but I understand what a transformative athlete he was for the sport. I think he like snapped his leg, didn't he?
Yep, he did. So
I'm going to guess that that's a tough one to come back from. So I'm going to say maybe this is his last fight. And if that's the case, it'll probably be a classic.
Well, you look at it, he lost his last 2 to Poirier, right? Now he's taking on Max Holloway, and they fought like, was it 12 or 13 years ago, Deck, is the last time they fought?
I think it was 2013.
2013?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know, man. Like it's hard to turn back the clock. Like he's not going to be as good as he used to be. Now, Max Holloway's been fighting way more, right? He's fought Poirier recently and Oliveira. Like I think the fight will be entertaining, but I'm kind of past the point of guys who've been out for that long that I'm like pay to watch it. So probably won't be paying to watch it. I would watch the highlights.
And question number 5. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of movie characters you'd like to be friends with?
So we'd be friends, like kind of we're hanging out in a group of friends?
Oh, interesting. I thought of it more as like you're like individually you're friends with them. It's not a
okay.
friend
So you have different kind of,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
So I would have 4 friends. I'll start with Bernard Beanie Campbell from Old School and Vince Vaughn. He was a really good, loyal friend. His speech as a married guy still makes me laugh to this day. So you got to have a guy who, he's happy where he's at, but he's also very realistic about the situation, doesn't hold back. Andy Dufresne from Shawshank. Why wouldn't you want a smart guy as a friend, right? Had pretty good scruples, pretty good morals, right? Can endure a lot. So I think he'd be loyal, right? He was a pretty loyal friend. Will Hunting from Good Will Hunting, because smart, you're going to learn. Like you always want to have people around you that are a little bit smart. I said, man, pay attention to this guy. I'm going to learn. He was a super loyal friend. And you always know if you got in trouble, he's there. So that's a good thing you want for a friend. And then the other one is, there's all types of different friends that you can have. And my last friend would be Kelly Van Ryan from Wild Things. Denise Richards. Yeah.
That's kind of my
Be a
question,
fun friend.
Deck. Can I just get some clarification on a few things?
Yeah.
In this alternate universe, the movie character is a real person that I can be friends with.
Yes.
And they will befriend me back.
Yeah.
And we will find ourselves hanging out in some sort of situation. It's not like my friend on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say yes, but I think it's also important to know you can lose friends too in the real world. Like this friendship isn't guaranteed forever, so act accordingly.
Well, this kind of gets to my point is like, is this a friend with benefit type situation that like I could go after? And this person has to see me in life?
Listen, I've given you chapter 1. What happens in the rest of the book is up
There's
to
no
you guys.
guarantees in life, dude.
It's Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street in my case.
She's kind of a wingnut.
Well, that's all right. She's the Duchess.
Well, you've always liked crazy. So, yeah.
I would then use Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 as my wingman to meet Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street. And then I would
I don't think he would like snag her up.
This is my situation. I'd also bring James Bond to endorse me to Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street. Probably not Pierce Brosnan. That's for darn sure.
Roger Moore?
No. He might snatch up Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know if I could hold him off.
So you're gonna check down to Sean Connery?
Yeah. Robert Lazenby, James Bond.
No, who is the word? Timothy Dalton. Go with him. He sucked as Bond.
I mean, just endorse me and make it on your way here.
Yeah, I'm bringing the worst Bond. Should be like, oh yeah, this guy's not even a good one. So
Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street makes a guy crash a helicopter deck. I could see myself being like, you know what? I'm going to drive it into the ground and impress her.
Now this is a good one. Hey boys, I'd want to be friends with Kenny bleeping Powers. You'd have a few laughs with old Kenny. There's no doubt about that. Like, I thought about Lloyd Christmas, but I'm like, dude, I think I might get a little annoyed. Like, you couldn't have a buddy who's that dumb after a while, right? Like, it just wouldn't be good. I don't think. So I'd be like, what do you mean we're not getting on the bus? What are you talking about? Like, that wouldn't be good.
I'll close it out with Jason Bourne. That might be cool to hang out with. Except your life
But
expectancy.
Bourne, see, I always thought Bourne was like he's like a solo guy. I don't think he'd want to be friends with anybody.
What if he like showed up at your house and he was on the run and he's like, remember me?
Oh, well, yeah, you'd let him in.
But I would also probably leave the house because
Yeah.
it's about to blow up probably with Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street in a helicopter.
Hey, guys, Lenny Feder from Grown Ups. Well, that was Adam Sandler.
It's a good character.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So I like it. Hey, guys, just so you know, Canada invented what is referred to as American football from Beach Goat. Oh, don't tell them that, Beach Goat. Just like basketball. I love how they jump. Oh, yeah, we invented it. What are you talking about? James and Naismith invented it. So, yes, classic stuff. Quick break. We'll return. Craig Button's going to join us here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages, plus take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact, because our team is built on second chances, and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Hockeyology, Edmonton's home for elite hockey development, skating analysis, performance assessments, and year-round training at West Edmonton Mall. Elite hockey development at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson on a busy Friday afternoon. Beautiful day out. And hey, speaking of missing the cut, what about Nelly Corda? She's been absolutely killing it this year. And she missed the cut by one. She shot a 3 over on Thursday, which was wild for her. Like, she is the best women's golfer going right now, and she just couldn't. Even she couldn't find it. It's weird that both her and Scheffler both missed the cut in the same weekend. Wild, because they are easily the best golfers on the men and women's side right now in the PGA and the LPGA. Just tells you, man, on any given weekend, something can happen in golf. Let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And hey, something can happen for you this weekend that's really good. Where can you go to get something for $1 nowadays? Well, you know what you can do? You can download the McDonald's app, and you can get dollar cones, not just today, all summer long, only at McDonald's. So good. As we welcome in a gentleman who I'm going to guess is wearing jeans and a striped shirt and a cowboy hat, as he's a big fan of the rodeo, as he should be. Stampede's a great time. Craig Button joins us. Now, Butts, my question is, what color is your cowboy hat?
It's white.
Oh,
nice. I'm in Calgary.
Yeah.
It's going to be white. There's no way it can't be white.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's a Smith built.
Yeah.
So ain't messing with anything. And, tonight we're off to Ella Langley. So I'll be in full garb.
Ooh, I like it. Now, do you go to do you watch the Chucks? Do you like to go to the rodeo?
I love it. I volunteer at the Stampede, Jason.
Okay.
So I'm on the concessions and exhibit committee, and we run all kinds of things, judging, food tours, all kinds of things. They had a taste of the Stampede culinary cook-off this year that I emceed a couple of times. So I love it. I was at the Chuck Wagons last night with my daughter and granddaughter, and we had a grand old time.
So now, just what
you love watching the bulls?
Oh, the bulls are you a tour guide?
No, not a tour guide. What we do is we bring in groups.
Okay.
The committee, it's called the Food Experience Committee that I'm on.
Okay.
So we bring in groups, and then we try to give them the best of the midway, 5 foods, a couple of drinks. We set them down at Nashville North, and away they go. And we just bring groups in, and it's a unique experience. We're really focusing in on expanding it next year, so that it can be something an extra offering. Last few years, we've just proven out the concept, and it's a good one.
I like it. Concept. The Ducks had to match, didn't they? Even though, you grit your teeth because it's 18 mil, but you wanted the player, and it's hard to find another player like that. I'm sure, though, if you look at it, if you're Pat Verbeek, you'd be like, what did we do to get to this position that we don't do again in the future, right?
Everything is a learning process, and I think for Patty and the Anaheim Ducks, they got good, smart people there. It doesn't mean that every decision you make is going to be the right one, but you need to learn. You need to understand. Okay, maybe we've been a little bit too rigid in holding our line, and I get that in contract negotiations, and certainly you come to a point where you're dealing with a unique player. You're dealing with a unicorn. How many unicorns are there in the NHL? I mean, McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, McCarr, Quinn Hughes. Neil Carlson's a unicorn. And, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and one of the things he said was, if it was a winger, you might not be willing to match.
Yep.
Unless his name was Ovechkin. But with a center like Carlson, who's as big and as strong and can impact the game in so many different ways, you look at it. And I forget who put it out today, Jason, but somebody put out that when Crosby signed his 8.7 cap hit a bunch of years back, it was the same percentage of the cap as Carlson is and Ovechkin. So there's been other players that have taken this percentage of the cap. You just got what Patty and them have to now understand is, how do you manage it with $18 million on your cap right now? But cap's going up and revenues are good. The league's in good health. So you feel you can do it. But I feel they have to match. And let me add one more thing. I think they have to match as well. You can't trade them for a year. What happens next summer? What happens? There's other players that might hit the market. You want to leave yourself open. You might be able to make a deal if you feel that Carlson hasn't hit his mark. And I'll just use an example. I'm not trying to suggest anything. But let's say Austin Matthews says, hey, listen, I'm not really interested in Toronto. I don't think they can do it, trade me, but I'd love to go to Anaheim. Well, maybe Anaheim can, sign Matthews and satisfy Toronto's wishes to get something for Matthews. That's something you need to have to happen. So I think matching was the prudent move.
Same with Utah. I thought that one was obviously a little bit easier. It's not anything that's like debilitating. 4.775 for a guy like Baden Harrod. You look at him and Barrett Hayton, and he's like your third line center, and you move on. You were in the GM chair, Craig, before. So you look at the Dallas Stars and you look at the Detroit Red Wings and, Jason Robertson. At least that one, there's going to be a conclusion. Either you're going to like the number or you're not going to like the arbitrator's number, but at least that one has a conclusion. Detroit Red Wings, there's not a conclusion yet. And Larkin, like Whippy, he added one more team to his no trade list. So there's Florida, Vegas, Minnesota, and now Dallas. And he's got a great contract at 8.7, especially the way the cap's going up. Like if I'm Steve Yzerman, I kind of have to play hardball. But do you think as a GM, Craig, it would be disruptful to have him come back and start the season if there's not a viable trade? Or do you have to trade him before the season starts?
No, I don't believe in that. I think that, first of all, Dylan's a competitor and Dylan's a quality person. People might not like that he asked for a trade. Okay, we can disagree with that, but he's a competitor. He's a quality person. If you recall back a number of years back when Matt Duchene asked out of Colorado, and I remember talking to Joe Sakic about this, right? And Joe said, hey, listen, it's real simple. He goes, I told Matt, okay, you want to be traded. We think we have a good program here, but you want to be traded. It's in your best interest to play well so that I can get the value that I need to get for you in a trade. So you play well, I'll continue to work to see what makes sense for our team, and then we can go there. And I think that's the same advice I would give to Dylan Larkin. And on the flip side, and I don't expect this from Dylan, and Matt was great too in Colorado, just go and play. Don't be disruptive. Because if you're disruptive and now the team goes away, so you sign a contract, you asked to be moved after we gave you a no move clause, okay, now you might want to dig your heels in. And I don't know if you recall when Pavel Bure wanted to be traded, and Brian Burke came right out. He goes, you know what? He goes, we don't want players that don't want to be here, but we're going to make the best move for the Vancouver Canucks. I think that's the same case with Steve Yzerman, and I think he will. And you talked about the contract. Like, there's not only value in the player, there's massive value in that contract and the term. So Steve's got to do what's best for the Detroit Red Wings, and he's going to exact a price. He has to exact a price for Dylan Larkin.
Well, and you look at it, he can't just go with prospects. Like they haven't made the playoffs in a decade. He needs players.
He sure does, and he has to be able to get players that can come in and help him now. Like, because to your point, I mean, we're talking about 10 years out of the playoffs. They've been close the last couple of years and fallen off in the second half of the year. I mean, I would suggest that for the Detroit Red Wings current management, it's make or break year for them.
There you go. Craig Button joined us from TSN. Craig, we kind of put a bow on the offseason. Like Anthony Mantha, where'd you come out on him? Like, is he going to enter what Jack Roslovic went through last year and be a late signing in the summer? Now, he did score 33 goals. Roslovic had scored 22 when he got his deal. Where do you come out on Mantha?
Yeah, well, I mean, Anthony has skill, and Anthony, like Jack, for, first-round draft picks. And, Anthony, different reasons, some injuries and, maybe just not ready to do what he's shown here in the last year, specifically with Pittsburgh. But there's two things I think that have to happen. Number one is that player and his viewpoints on what he feels is a contract that's amenable to him probably has to change. He probably thought, hey, how many times do we hear this? Oh, you picked a great year to have a big season. Yeah, that's good if you've had a lot of good seasons prior to that. The problem for Anthony is he hasn't. So teams look at that and go, okay, we saw what you did this year, and it's appealing, but it's not appealing on a long-term contract. And so I do believe that Anthony's going to have to find himself with adjusted expectations, shorter-term contract. Maybe the dollars are going to have to be a little bit less than he expected, but along the same lines of Jack Roslovic in terms of, okay, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to show what you can do. Look, like Jack, what did he come in for? 1.5? Was it 1.5 million?
Yeah, 1.5.
On a one-year deal. He goes and signs for 2 years at $4 million a year.
Yeah.
So, again, when you haven't shown that consistency in your performance, it's buyer beware. And I think the buyers are being beware. And that's why I say there has to be an adjustment. Now, that being said, without you even asking me, I'd try to find a way to get Anthony Mantha, and let's go right to the Edmonton Oilers. If I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm saying, no, listen, come here for 1 year. We'll pay you whatever the dollar figure is, and you're set up now to have 2 good years. Now you might be able to really cash out.
Yeah, I think Edmonton, if you would look, like, it'll probably be more than 1.5. Like, let's say it's 2.5 or whatever, not 3 million or whatever the number is going to be. But on a 1 year deal, yeah, I'd consider it for sure if I was Edmonton. If not, though, like, because Edmonton doesn't need to overpay. They could play the regular season and say, hey, let's see what Savoy and Howard can do. Maybe they can't do it, but then we can acquire, because we're going to have all this cap space. Then we can acquire guys at the trade deadline. But what if all they need is one of those guys to emerge this year? And I think people forget Matt Savoy's final 24 games coming out of the Olympic break, he had 19 points. Now, Leon Draisaitl was out of the lineup for 16 or 17 of those games, so he got more of an opportunity. But lots of guys get opportunity, Craig, and they don't produce with the opportunity. Savoy produced when he got the opportunity late last year, and that's why he's the guy in Edmonton. Like, I know, hey, Howard's one, but I look at Matt Savoy, and because of his awareness defensively, he's a guy that I think should get every opportunity to be a top 6 role in Edmonton to start the season.
I concur with you all the way, Jason. Listen, the one thing that Matty Savoy has shown is that he can contribute in other areas if he's not scoring. His game really rounded out. I thought it rounded out. Good penalty killer, good defensively. Isaac Howard hasn't shown that if he doesn't score, how does he help you? He hasn't shown that he can do that. So, I'm not saying he can't show that, but that's what he's going to have to show. Like, if you're asking me now between Isaac Howard, real hope with Isaac Howard, give Matty the chance to elevate. Because I think based on what he showed last year and being a well-rounded player, he can elevate in a significant way. Isaac Howard has to prove himself.
Yes, no question on that. What's your expectation of, like, because a lot of people like, Mike Babcock, he's going to come in and be hard. Yeah. And they're talking about, lowering the minutes. Well, I would lower McDavid's minutes on the PK. It's a no-brainer for me. And probably even a minute on the 5-on-5. But I'm not lowering his minutes on the best weapon you have, which is the power play. It's not harder minutes. It's easier. Why the hell would I want to play my second unit more? It doesn't make any sense to me. I've got the greatest power play the NHL's ever seen. Why would I want to weaken it?
You're exactly right. With Dickinson in the fold, right? And, we'll see what Josh Szymanski can do. We talked about Matty Savoy and what he's done. Kapanen's back. I mean, he had some injuries last year. But the reason you have to play players a little bit more is because you don't have other players that can fill in those minutes. Like, that's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. I've never met a coach ever that won't play the players that they feel will help them win. It's where Chris Knobloch looked at his lineup and he goes, these guys can't help me win. If we go back, I'm not saying I'm being a little bit harder on that, but, they signed Trent Frederick. Like, where did Trent Frederick start last year? What line did he start on?
First line.
And then he said, so, like, people say, give Trent Frederick a chance. Give him a chance? You're playing with Draisaitl or McDavid? And then he just kept notching down. Do you know why? Because he was no good. That's why. You think Chris Knobloch didn't like Trent Frederick? You think Trent Frederick was a guy that earned any? Trent Frederick earned nothing last year. Nothing. He was given anything he got, and he couldn't take advantage. You talk about Isaac Howard. I mean, Isaac Howard was better than Trent Frederick in my view. So, coaches are going to play the guys that earn their ice time, and the good coaches do that. Okay, you want to make a change in the coaching area. That's fine. Mike Babcock's going to come in and do the same thing. He's going to ask players to perform to the best of their abilities. He's going to ask them to earn their ice time. He's going to need players that can play in different areas of the game that can help and ease that ice time on your top players. You're right. You're not going to take it off. Those guys on the power play in Toronto, they played all the time. Like, they had one unit in Toronto. It was a great power play in Toronto with Marner and Hyman when he was there, and Matthews and Nylander. It was a great power play. And then, but why do you suffer? You suffer because at 5-on-5, you don't have enough other players to play that role. And I think that with some of the additions in the team and some of the, I guess, hope that you have for some other players, something to wait and see. But Mike Babcock has always shown that he can max out the potential of a team. We can debate what the potential of the team is, but he has always shown that he can max out on the potential of the team.
Lastly, Craig, when you look at the Oilers' summer from where they were at the end of the season after the trades and signings, How do you look at their team now?
Oh, I think they're and keep in mind too. Okay, that was also with the specter of not knowing what Dickinson or Murphy were going to do. Well, they become re-signed, right? You move the money on Darnell Nurse, you bring in Ryan Shea, you get Kapanen re-signed, you bring in a different coach. We talked about Matty Savoy. I think they're in a better place. I think they're in a much better place than they were when the season ended and the uncertainty. I think you're going to see a 3 goaltender rotation, and I think that's what you got to do. So everybody would like to have a tandem. Everybody would like to have a number one, but sometimes the hand that you're dealt is the hand you have to play. And I think Freddie Anderson showed that he could do that last year in Carolina. Could Devin Levi be their Brandon Bussey, and can Tristan Jarry find his game again? But I'd rather have 3 than be uncertain about more than that. And I think once they traded for Jarry and he showed what he wasn't, now King Ingram can do it. He showed in little stretches that he could, but there was massive uncertainty around the goaltending. I think that in and of itself has changed somewhat, and I think that's a good thing.
Lastly, Craig, if someone was coming down to Stampede, what's the food they have to try this weekend?
The food. Well, I'll tell you what, Jack the Ripper. I'm a big barbecue guy, but his brisket is outstanding. It really, really is simply outstanding. The Ogopogo Nashville chicken mac and cheese. I know it sounds kind of wild at the Stampede, but that's a pretty good one. And the dumpling hero has lobster dumplings. Pretty bloody good.
Ooh, okay. I love it. Craig, my man, we always appreciate you coming on every Friday with us during the year, and we know we get you off for the summertime, so thanks as always for everything, and we'll touch base again earlier. Of course, the season's going to kick off in September this year.
Are we gonna see you at the Wanye Gretz?
Yes, you probably will.
August 3rd to the 8th.
Yeah.
August 3rd to the 8th.
Yeah, I come. I'll be back. I'll see you later in that trip because I won't be there for the earlier parts because I'm
good. Well, I look
holiday.
forward to seeing you, and we'll get together.
You betcha, buddy. Okay, Craig, have a good one.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
There you go. That's Craig Button from TSN. Let's get a quick break. We'll come back. JC Sherritt's going to join us in the final hour of the Gregor Show here in Sports 1440. Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This weekend, you're looking for a vehicle. You want a truck? You want a vet? Well, how about great deals? You get employee pricing all month long in July. Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Stop in today on 97th Street.
The Sports 1440 update.
Final from the FIFA World Cup earlier today was Spain over Belgium 2-1. Mikel Merino, the 85th minute sub, scoring the winner in the 88th minute, and Belgian goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois leading the game in the 71st minute with injury. Wimbledon final saw Jannik Sinner over Novak Djokovic in straight sets. Sasha Zverev winning over Arthur Ferry in straights as well. CFL Week 6 will get going tonight. We'll keep going tonight with Toronto and Winnipeg at 6:30. And in the MLB right now, scores around the league. See the Brewers and Pirates, Phillies and Tigers, Yankees and Nats, and Red Sox and Mets all tied at 0-0. In the sporting world, Victor Wembanyama has agreed to a 5-year, $252 million contract extension, 25% of the 30% max he was able to extend for, and ex-Miami Heat teammates Bam Adebayo and Tyler Farrell getting into a physical altercation in Las Vegas today. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free Radio Player app and listen wherever you go.
Only Crave has your favorite summer obsession, Love Island USA. The reality sensation is back.
Hello, Islanders.
And so is irresistible host Ariana Maddox.
Here's to a great summer of love.
Sexy singles, jaw-dropping drama. Who's ready to play? Love Island USA. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Are you a skilled laborer? All Star Construction wants to talk to you.
A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience, All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at ProSolutionsInc.ca.
Did you know that when you play Colonial Golf Club, just 5 minutes from Edmonton and Beaumont, you can have a monkey be your caddy?
We interrupt this commercial to let you know Colonial Golf Club does offer great course conditions, greens that are always fast and true. We offer memberships, and we have a newly renovated clubhouse with a new menu offering great food and drink, but we do not offer a monkey as a caddy for you.
Oh, man. I really like monkeys.
For more details and to book, visit colonial.ca. Monkey not included.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
So Friday continues on. Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson with you. Hey, you made it through another week, boys and girls. Hope the weekend is good. You got a lot of plans, maybe golfing, biking. Weather should be nice. Check out the Riverhawks in action tonight. Hopefully you went to the Elks game. If not, plan ahead. Next Friday night, Elks will host the BC Lions in their first weekend home game of the year. Is the Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. As we're going to get to our CFL report brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca. And we are joined by the defensive coordinator of the 4-1 Edmonton Elks, JC Sherritt. Joins us, JC, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm excellent. So tell us, what does the DC do the day after a game? When you come in, like, what film are you breaking down specifically today?
So right after the game, we come in, we grade it individually. We grade our positions. Then we come together as a defensive staff, watch the game back over, just to make sure we're all on the same page. We see everything the same. And then our players come in. We recap as a defense, and then we split to our position groups and then watch it all together.
Okay. So when you're grading out, so do you grade out the groups, JC, or do you grade out each individual player? Oh, we'll have to get him back there. It looks like it just dropped out. So, because I'd be curious about like that. You're great. So you got to watch the play, but then well, I know that in their films, like they have different than what we just see on TV, right? Like they got the different camera angles, so they can just pick up the D linemen and different things like that. So it'll be, I'll be intrigued to see kind of how it goes.
One of the kinds of content I'd like to see about the Elks that I think the everyday fan doesn't necessarily understand is the effort that goes in to the games, the effort that goes into watching tape, the playbook, how much work it is. Some of those NFL films behind the scenes, like I'm not the biggest NFL fan, right? But when I watch them, it impresses upon me like how much work goes into this.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of hours, man. Like I know a lot of players kind of left. They're like, man, coaching is way harder than playing in football because you're there. A lot of JC's back with us. So JC, do you evaluate the positions, or do you do each individual player gets a grade?
Each individual player, we gets a grade. We have a grading system and a formula, almost a data formula we punch in, and it lets you track consistency, both good and bad. And then, it can go down quite a path data-wise, but we track everything from a data concept, each player individually, and then as a group as well.
It was funny when I spoke to Ed Hervey about your rookie middle linebacker, Jaboma, and he kind of laughed and goes, well, those other guys better be careful. Once JC got in, he didn't give it up. And Jaboma, I look at week 1 against BC, and then I looked at him last night, and I know that Ottawa is not BC, but still, man, I thought a pretty significant improvement. What did you see as a middle linebacker from your rookie middle linebacker in his second start?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. He made some mistakes in the BC game, which, that's the jump from college to professional. One step to the left when you should have went right, and it's a 50-yard run. And you could tell he really, really took his footwork and his run game to heart through the whole week. And I told him in the meeting, that's what I was most pleased, most proud of, is him just understanding the importance of his footwork and being in the middle. And maybe you don't make the tackle, but you made the play for somebody else. To see that jump in one game is very, very encouraging.
Overall for your defense, I know we had Aaron Grimes on the show earlier, and they were like, hey, man, like our secondary is leading the league in knockdowns, but no, we got to get some picks. Well, they held on to 4 of them. And your defense, the one thing, you guys are 4-0 in the games that you've won the turnover battle, so it's not a surprise to me. But what did you see maybe different? Is it just a fact that they just held on to the ball, or was something different from the secondary last night to get the 4 picks?
It's funny, as cliched as it is, like when they come in bunches. The same thing happened to us last year when we finally caught one. Now, that took a whole lot longer. But, I know the linebackers caught them last week, but once a DB catches one, it seems to catch fire in their group. Whether that's the competitive spirit or confidence jumps, but it's T Ford again for the second year in a row. And they always have a side pot going for the first one of the year, so it's hilarious that he got it again. But I don't know what it is, but it seems, when you are in little droughts, when one DB grabs one, it seems the other starts snatching them too.
Your defense had given up hardly anything up until the penalty for roughing the kicker, and that gave Ottawa a little bit of life. And then there was a string of penalties, JC, and Ottawa, finally got a little bit of offense there. And then after that, in the fourth quarter, obviously only limited them to 3 points. Kind of take me through how that one penalty just seemed to kind of turn things around. Did you sense that as a coach on the sideline in the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's so CFL game to me. Like, it's just you're never safe. The games can turn on top of each other constantly. it was disappointing. It's just, to me, the jump of, from average to good, from good to great, it's the teams that, okay, a penalty happened, but are you able to limit the bleeding? Where we weren't defensively, which was frustrating. So I think that's something we'll look at, because the fact is the offense we're about to face is a lot more high-powered, high-octane, and just the team in general, when you can't get away with some things like that at times. So that's something we're very focused on, is just being able to handle sudden change and capitalize.
JC Sherritt, defensive coordinator for the Green and Gold, joins us. JC, how much do you think a sack? I know that sacks aren't everything. Pressure means a lot, but how much do you think that sack for Robbie Smith can kind of get him going, maybe be a big impact for him moving forward in the D-line?
I think absolutely, because I not only that, I think just his overall game. There was a lot of plays that went on. It was great to see the sack because he had the type of game where he deserved that. So to watch him play a complete game versus run and pass, and then finally get paid off with that, I think it's something absolutely he can build off of.
So, JC, from last week to this week, what did you feel was the biggest improvement for your defense?
I just think our overall approach to run game and tackling. We were coming off our worst performance in both on the year, and it's two things we pride ourselves a lot on, especially the tackling aspect. Numbers can be skewed a certain way, but tackling is very straightforward. That's the eye in the sky doesn't lie. So, we always track first contact and then the yards gained after that. So to watch those guys bounce back, especially, from our secondary, the way they tackled, they were challenged and they responded. To be able to limit yards with their just ability to tackle, no scheme, no anything, that's just their want to, was great to see.
So now you get some days off, and you're a defensive player twice in 5 games. You guys played 3 games in 14 days. It was a stretch. I'm sure it's even, for a coach. So does the coach get a day off? Like, is tomorrow a day off for you finally?
No, it's not a day off, but that'll be good. It'll be good for those players to take a break. They deserve it. But I shouldn't say we're going to be in working, but it's not the pedal to the metal of a 4-day window. You get a little bit more time to put the plan together and, analyze some self-scout things that we've got to get to. And, it gives you a little break to get ahead on some things.
Okay. So do you now, JC, for tonight, like, would you watch the other game live, or you're like, no, it's not a team we're playing next week, I don't need to watch tonight's game?
No, yeah, I'll watch it. I'm not gonna rewind it and pause it and analyze it or anything like that. But I'll definitely have it on. I'm a fan of the game, and it's we'll watch it as a family until it's time to go to bed. And it's great just from obviously entertainment perspective. But you always want to watch it as a coach, because there's just always things that pop up in games that you can ask yourself, like, oh, how would I handle that? That's an interesting call in that situation. So just things to make you think. And I mean, there's no better work than watching an entertaining game while also putting in some work hours technically.
Yeah. No, that is very fair. Give me your thoughts as a linebacker, and let's go back to a young JC Sherritt. How would you approach defending Rankin?
I would take full speed shots through his legs and hope that I grabbed one of them. I think that's it right there for me. That would be my strategy. But it seems like if you hesitate for a second against that guy, or you're off by just a little bit, you're gonna have some issues. So he's as talented as I've seen up here. I always thought the more compact, shorter backs were the hardest ones to tackle. So he's a matchup problem for anybody.
And he's, especially if he gets into the open field, like we're seeing that time and time. You give him a little bit of space, and it is deadly for the defense.
Yeah, and I think we talk about it a lot because the first time I saw him, I was the linebacker coach in SAS, and we knew he was talented, but you didn't know he had that kind of speed. And I don't know if he did have that kind of speed 2 years ago. And you look at the work that he's put in, the work he puts in every day. I mean, he shows up in the morning dang near when the coaches do. He's the first guy in. So it's always fun from, a coach's perspective or just a former player perspective to see that guy who shows up before everybody else continuously get better. It's very fun to watch. It's a player who's earned everything he's got.
JC, as a defensive coordinator, I know when you set up your system, I don't think you set it up for one individual player by any stretch, but as you get to know Carney more, are there sets that you can build around him that you feel could, allow him to be as disruptive as possible? Does it work that way when you're deciding what defense to run in certain situations?
Yeah, I think absolutely. When you look at it, when you know what play's coming, like most teams we face 2nd and 5 or longer is almost 100% pass. That enables you to get creative. Whether we line him up on the inside or line him back at linebacker depth, there's no question. You just want to put him in the best position for the team, but you also know the best position for the team is putting him on their weakest, most likely. So it's, we're always thinking about what's the best move to win the play at the time.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And Joel DeBlanco has, he's come in and the guy just keeps improving. And right now, he's arguably maybe the best linebacker in the league. What have you seen from DeBlanco early on in the season that's allowed him to be such a difference maker every game?
Similar to Rank, honestly, is he puts in serious work into his game. The guy's dynamic warm-up before a game is like a half hour long. It's unbelievable. But he's very strict on himself. He's very hard on his mistakes, but he's hard on himself in a good way. Where if he's off, if he's got the wrong leverage, if his footwork is off, if his eyes are off, he's not okay with that. And it's not coached that way either, and he takes that to heart. So it's just somebody who's very hyper strict and wants the best out of his game and the best out of the opportunity he's been given.
Does he remind you of any linebackers you played with or against?
That's a good question. The one thing that stands out about Joel that I haven't seen is he's the most conditioned linebacker I've ever coached or played with, I've ever been around, period.
Okay.
And I think that's where maybe he's not like anybody else that I've been around. He has one speed, and he's the only player I've seen on the field where it's never altered, ever. And I think that in a CFL game, that's one of the most, wide open games. Certainly from a football perspective, it is the most wide open conditioned football you can play in. It is a huge advantage for him. It's something he takes seriously and works hard at.
So his engine can run hotter longer than most other players.
Yeah, it's no hyperbole. We're coming up on almost 30 years of football. I've never seen a more conditioned defensive player.
Oof. Wow. Love it. JC, congratulations on a great start, and hope it continues next Friday. We'll see you down at practice. Have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's JC Sher, defensive coordinator of the Green and Gold, and pretty lofty compliment there for young DeBlanco.
I know the season's young, so I didn't want to ask the question and risk any sort of jinxing, but you have to think the vibes in the Elks dressing room after this many seasons of sub 500 football. It's early, but you have to think the vibes are high at a 4-1 start.
They are high, but I sense they're. It was funny because I talked to someone in the organization, I won't say who said he felt like in BC, maybe there were some guys who kind of read their press clippings. They were 3-0, and then they had 2 event galas, and everyone was telling them how awesome they were. And sometimes, that can creep in a little bit. And a loss every now and then isn't the bad thing. It's how you respond to it. And obviously they responded with a big win last night. And now it'll be easy to get up because the only team they lost to is a team that comes in here on Friday night. You definitely don't want to lose again because you don't want to get BC any momentum, right? A lot of people thought BC was going to be the top dogs, as they should be. So, they still got some injuries. So I think although they are getting healthier for sure, especially at the receiver position, but if you're Edmonton, I think they're going to look at that BC game and say, hey, we got something to prove here. And that's why I think Friday night, early on in the year, no question in my mind, that's the game to watch for the green and gold. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to LT. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Save big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more, up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages. Plus, take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliances OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisqford.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Camrose Summer Consignment Auction, open right now for online bidding through July 14th at alanolsonauction.com. This huge consignment sale features a totally unreserved retirement dispersal for Jace Craft. Bid on a variety of new and unused equipment in excellent condition, including machinery, lawn and garden tools, skid steers, and attachments. Plus, trucks, construction and farm equipment, buildings, and so much more. For more info, call 780-672-2434 or visit alanolsonauction.com today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Plus, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.5:30. We continue on the Jason Gregor Show. We're down to six teams left in the World Cup. Belgium is out after a 2-1 loss to Spain, as Spain and France will now play on Tuesday in one of the semifinals. Tomorrow we'll find out who the rest of the teams are. Norway plays England at 3 o'clock our time, and then Argentina, Switzerland. I think a lot of people think Argentina is going to win over Switzerland, but Norway, England, England is the favorite in that game. But I don't know, man. Like, I get why they're the favorite, but Haaland, the way he's played, it's hard to just rule him out just yet.
If you're a sports fan and you're happy on some level for Knicks fans, finally, after all these years, seeing the Knicks win an NBA championship, England winning the World Cup would change a generation of British soccer fans.
Like
it would, they would view it as like the highlight of their lives.
Yes. I totally agree with you. It would be a big deal. Speaking of big deals, how about the Grade 8? Did you see what he did? That's pretty cool. He got invited. And it was only a small group. That's what I kind of liked about it. It's a small group of people, these fans, and they go to this pub, and it's like a beer drinking club. It's like the one guy, and I love the guy's honesty. He's like, yeah, we're going to have our biggest turnout. We have like 30 people, right? But whatever. And then Ovi showed up.
Well, they buy a beer for Ovi every time.
Every time.
And they leave it for him, and no one drinks it, and they put a card out saying, for Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Good for them. And more importantly, good for Ovi. Have a little bit of fun. He made those people's day. They're just like, oh, my God. Right now, Ovi's never want to turn down a beer. Good for him. He loves his beer. So, you know what? Maybe we'll do one of those for our next guest, right? Just leave him one day he'll show up to have a beer for our next guest, because he's like a ghost in the wind. You never see him.
As an internet skeptic, I was like, oh, this is fake. If that was fake, those Russian guys are as good at actors as any generation. Like, they were so thrilled Ovi showed up to have a beer with them. It was quite cute.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was awesome. Let's get to the LT report, brought to you by GS Construction. They specialize in underground infrastructure, making your life more enjoyable and easy with running water, plumbing, and more. As GS Construction, they're hiring. Check out gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As the host of The Lowdown, Monday to Friday, noon to 2, here on Sports 1440. Alan Mitchell joins us. LT, how you doing?
I'm good. We've had the rain during the week, and now the sun is out and it's hot, and it's the weekend. I think Mother Nature got it turned around, but I'm glad. A nice weekend of weather in Alberta, where the temperatures are really high, is very cool, and I think we're headed that way.
It's good, buddy. We need some heat. No question about it. The Elks really brought the heat, especially in the fourth quarter last night, bombing Ottawa 24-3. Their defense really dominated the majority of that game. Up until that penalty on the punter, it was domination across the board, really, for the Elks defensively. They end up with 4 interceptions, and the Elks are good, Al. News flash, breaking news: the Elks are good.
Yeah, and they're 4-1, and you can't fluke 4-1. You just can't. And they have the best record in the West. I know Saskatchewan will play and probably go 4-1. But this team they're just good. If you look at the stats, the offensive stats by the Elks yesterday, the quarterback has great stats. The running back has great stats. Also caught a lot of balls out of the backfield. At least had some good yardage. 3 receivers had handsome numbers, and the defense was better. So they're getting their playmakers the ball on the offensive side. I thought that they were better at mixing things up and being a little bit more creative. And look, the Red Blacks, they had an issue because the quarterback couldn't make that long throw, and it cost them. And ball hawks on the Elk side were getting the ball, and that's great. But that's football. They took advantage of what was available to them. I really liked it. I have to say that the Elks look they don't look disjointed. They a couple of times there was a procedure penalty and then a sack where it kind of set them back. You mentioned about the other issue, but it wasn't like when you're watching Ottawa. Now they've got there's a penalty, or there's a badly thrown ball that's an interception. They were just shooting themselves in the foot. Elks don't do that, and we've watched some football where they did in the last few years. This is an exciting team, man. I love it. I love watching them do well, and that's all they're doing right now.
No, they're definitely playing well. Justin Rankin had another dominant game. He's an electrifying player, and J.C. Sherritt feels that he's faster now than he was when he first came into the league, and that's the one thing I've noticed. He gets into open field now, Al. Guys aren't catching him.
Yeah, and he can move. He's got great moves. He's a guy, a back who if he keeps doing this, we'll remember him a long time, because this is look at the numbers on this guy. Holy moly. And we're early in the year, and I know that it's a long year, and who knows if they run into a really good defense for 2 or 3 weeks in a row. Maybe they the numbers dive or whatever. But he has a look of a guy who's going to post some ridiculous totals by the end of the year.
LT, I feel, having watched the Elks a lot more this season and the last, that a lot of the decisions they were making as an organization last year are starting to bear fruit this year. And I feel like at 4-1, do you feel like maybe they've kind of, it's early in the season, but have they maybe broken the curse almost that was over this team for the last few seasons?
I agree totally. And I think that if you go back and you look at how much change there was year to year in terms of management, in terms of coaching, in terms of personnel, and look, it's a league where you cheer for laundry, but you're always building, and the CFL draft is important, and recruiting players and keeping them year over year is important. And I remember when Fajardo came in, they're like, okay, you got a veteran quarterback, and you need that too, and you need to be building up a backup eventually, just in case he's needed. And it feels to me like the Elks are just making sound personnel decisions, and then they're not. It's not like a saloon door where there's so many guys coming in and coming out, and eventually somebody's going to leave here and go to BC and become a star. Elks seem to have a really good idea about how long it takes them to assess a player, and they're doing that due diligence, and it's paying off.
And them and the Riders potentially could have back-to-back weeks where we have a first-place tie, and then they go into Saskatchewan, and then they come back to Edmonton. Like, it's unreal potential for two massive games. And I can't remember the last time, Edmonton hasn't really played a super meaningful game probably since 2016.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And when the Rough Riders play here on the back-to-back, there'll be a lot of mid-70s pickup trucks in town coming in from Regina and Saskatoon. That's great too. It helps the economy. It's going to be great. And that Rough Rider fans travel well. That's going to be a packed house. So Elks fans better get out there and represent, because this team is worth cheering for and being in the seats for.
Al, what's your expectations for Isaac Howard this year? No one's guaranteed, you got to get so many minutes, but he probably at least will get an opportunity in camp to see if he can start in the top six.
Yep, I think that's fair, and I think it's there for him now. There was talk, right after free agency started or the first day was done, where I think Stan Woman said, if we add anybody, it'd be a skill forward. So that's still out there, lurking. But right now, I think you could make a case that let's just say Ike Howard is on the second line, and his sort of backup veteran is Kapanen. But I think if you're Babcock, you want to see what he is, and the only way to do that is to play him with skill. And he has the hardest thing to do in hockey or any sport, like watch soccer for crying out loud, is to score goals. Yeah. And Ike Howard has that in him. He just does. His AHL numbers are really good. He scored more goals per game than any rookie in the AHL a year ago. It's like 24 and 47 or something like that. He scored well. And they got him. And year one looked a lot like Matt Savoy's year, where he got a little bit of an NHL audition time. And I know that the Oilers brought Savoy along slowly in year two. Maybe they will, but there's a very specific need for a skilled guy who can score goals, and he's that guy. So we'll see. Babcock has, if you look at the track record, when he's got a talented player, they often thrive. They sure did as rookies in 15 and 16 in Toronto when they were, when they had Nylander and Matthews and Marner and Zach Hyman. They all thrived. So we'll see. But I think he'll get a real shot, and my suspicion is he lands all year. Maybe not on the skill line all year, but that he's here all year.
Okay. Lastly, Al, do you? Because I know that you've been in your baseball rotisserie leagues for years. Do you think Vladdy Guerrero and the All-Star break would be enough for him to find his game?
Yes, as long as he's not hurt. These guys have back issues, and maybe he just needs a little bit of rest. Everything about baseball is about regression. So the guys who have done brilliantly well in the first half probably are going to fade. I remember years and years ago, Willie Stargell had 35 home runs at the All-Star break, and he ended up at 49. He only hit 14 in the second half. So the opposite of that is true. Fernando Tatis in San Diego has like 4 home runs. Vladdy doesn't have very many. But, if Vladdy hits 15 home runs in the second half, everybody would go, well, he started slowly, but he came on. And Vladdy could hit 7 home runs in a week. Caminero did it, last week.
Yeah.
And they're very similar. The way they swing the bat is very similar. So, if you're betting on, as long as he's healthy, if you're betting on Guerrero, that's probably wise for the second half.
LT, have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy the soccer, enjoy the golf and baseball, and we will chat with you on Monday.
All right, boys. Have a great weekend.
There you go. That's Alan Mitchell, host of The Lowdown. Sports 1440. We'll come back. Wanye's World, 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. More. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
For decades, the pioneer spirit of Alberta has been exemplified in the chuck wagon racing legacy of the Dorchester family. And today, you can experience it every time you hit the links. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is in top mid-season form. Enjoy the longer days on this historic 18-hole course near Pigeon Lake. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantor. Made in Canada, made for Canada. Where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.546, we return. Jason Gregor alongside Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson. As it's time to get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. On Fridays, we do the 2-minute warning live. The honor of reading Cam's words. So here are Cam's words, my voice, in the 2-minute warning. Gregor, I need to take you back. The late, great Joe Farragelli was once asked how Henry Williams got the nickname Gizmo. And Joe said, and I quote, "It was easy. I looked at him, the way he ran, he looked like a gizmo. That's it. That's the entire creative process. No committee, no marketing department, no intern with a whiteboard. Just Joe Farragelli squinting at the fastest human in Canada going, yep, Gizmo. Meanwhile, it takes me 40 minutes to name a fantasy team." And Williams was unbelievable. Retired football writer Norm Cowley once told me he hated writing Elks gamers, not because of the deadlines, but because of Giz. The man would have a story basically finished, and then Henry would return a missed field goal, 112 yards for a touchdown in the Grey Cup, which he actually did, 1987. 38-36 over Toronto. Norm's probably still rewriting that lead. Hall of Famer, Wall of Honor at Commonwealth, still the CFL's all-time leader in punt returns, kickoff returns, and return yardage. The man nearly put up 1,000 return yards in a season twice, back when 1,000 of anything was a lot. So here's my armchair quarterback suggestion for today. Mark Killam, free of charge. Just put Rankin back there on punts and kickoffs. Let the man build a relationship with the football. And I mean a real relationship. Right from the moment it lands in his arms, talk to it, whisper to it, recite a poem. I'm not saying a full Robert service. We've got a game to play, but a haiku minimum. Football, you complete me. And then run it 90 yards north. But Gregor, before we debate any of that, the man needs a name. You cannot return kicks in the city without one. The Giz set the bar. So here are my 3 nominees for Rankin. 1, the widget. The natural heir to the gizmo, small, mysterious, and nobody knows exactly how it works, including him. 2, the Rankin file. Every special teams coordinator in the league is going to have a folder on this guy, and it will help them exactly 0%. 3, special delivery, because every punt is a package, and this man delivers to one address only, the end zone. Signature, not required. Gregor, I'm interested to hear your thoughts, but one rule, and it's not negotiable. Just like the original Gizmo, do not feed him after midnight. Cam Tate, 2-minute warning, Monday to Friday. The Rankin file is actually pretty good. I will give him, that one's good. I can tell you Coach Killam ain't putting Rankin on the kickoff return because he's the main running back. But that's why, hey, they got Javon Leake, their other running back there. But, hey, I could see, like, at certain times in a game, why couldn't you put Rankin back there? Right now, I'd have to ask him, because catching punts, I watch guys in practice, and you'd be amazed at how many guys, receivers, whatever, they go to catch the, and it's just not, they're not used to it. And all of a sudden, it's not as clean as you would think. So I'd have to ask Rankin, A, has he ever done it? But I'm sure if there was a certain time where, we put Leak and Rankin back on kickoff, like a kickoff for sure. It's different than the punt. It's not a bad idea. Like, you're not going to do it all the time for Rankin, but every now and then, why not?
Declan, you're calling plays for the team. Do you approve this message?
Well, that seems a little egregious. But no, sorry, Cam. I really disagree for a lot of reasons. I think Javon Leake's better at it. I just think the injury risk is too high, and you need his lungs on offense.
But we can agree with Cam that, like, part of the storyline development of helping this team in the stands and off the stands is storylines. Getting a nickname for a player that's this hot, that's sound business.
Yeah, okay, but like you already have a pretty electric returner in Javon Leake. He actually led the league in all-purpose yards last year with like 2,400. So why don't we get him a cool nickname and run with that? And by like he is I just said it, he is electric on punt and kickoff return.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put him on punt returns. Plus, it's just, your best player, you're exposing him to more injuries. But at a certain time of a game, I'd consider it once or twice a year. I would.
What about suggesting to active out players to do a flip? Because when I was a little kid and Giz would do a flip.
Well, Rankin's done a backflip before when he scored a touchdown.
TJ Luther just did one as well when he got a touchdown the other week.
Yeah. But Giz was front flips, right?
And Giz, as I remember it as a little kid, in full flight, would hit a flip. Like he would do the punt return or do the field goal return. And in full flight, as I remember, do the flip. Like he wouldn't stop or slow down. It was like, it was something to see.
Yeah.
The flip had almost as much to do with little kids loving the Giz as the touchdown.
Well, because it was anticipation. You're waiting for it. It's like, the Elks used to have the sack celebration. It was the same. And there was a sack, and now all of a sudden they're doing the somersault, right? And people loved it. Those are small little things, like George Larac, when he'd score a goal, he'd jump into the glass, right? People loved it. Small little things. Like if I was a player, I would come up with a post-goal celebration every time. Right? Like now, maybe not the same one, but you could mix in a few. Like, remember when Ovi did the hot stick? That was sick. People loved that one, right? Jagger used to have the salute, right? It's pretty good. Like, Messier's was always just traditional. Hands both above his head. And it was just like almost every time, right? But like I know maybe a 50-goal scorer probably isn't going to do it. But if you're like a 10 or 12-goal guy, I would come up with the same celly every time. And people would love it.
When Connor takes a knee and does the bow and arrow, whoo-hoo, that's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. Like who's another guy? Patrick Kane had one, did he not? Overtime? Was it? Oh, yeah, the heartbreaker. Yeah.
When Solani shot his glove, that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
That was a 76 goal. Well, that's when he broke the rookie record. Yeah, he threw his glove up in the air and then shot it. Yeah, that was
unbelievable.
It was an awesome celebration. So
that had thought.
I would but you, because you couldn't do that for every goal, right? Like that's a monumental one. I get it. But to get a regular one like Giz in the flip, people loved it. It was unreal. So, Rankin scores probably too many TDs to do it realistically, not every time. But like I loved when the Elks used to have their sack celebration. I thought it was a smart thing to do. Right? Like I saw did you see the Elks had the celebration last night, Duck, Duck, Goose. Now, it's a simple one, but it's good, right? One guy gets up, runs around the circle, taps the guy on the head. It's classic, right? It's a classic one. So, like, I remember some really good celebration. I remember when it was Calgary in Edmonton, and they scored the touchdown, and then they lined up and did the sprint on the track. Because I was basically in your house, you got the track, and you guys have never done this. Terrible. It was a really good, I get marked for that one. That was Pee Wee Smith and those guys. That was a really good celebration.
And stuff like this, again, for fan experience, we're talking about today, people go crazy about this kind of stuff. Do you remember back in the day when the Elks had Nanook? Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
That guy did such a good job of getting the fans revved up back in the day that, again, you're trying to improve your team. There's improvements to make on the field, certainly, but don't underestimate the investment in fun stuff like that for the fans.
Oh, it all matters. No question about it. We'll have to find out who can get a consistent TD celebration. We'll see. We shall see. Everybody have yourselves an awesome weekend. On behalf of Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson, please do not drink and drive. Don't weed and drive. Don't be inebriated. Get home safe. If you're going to the Stampede, enjoy it. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's a pretty long list. So have fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy the World Cup, baseball, Riverhawks in the River Valley. It's a great weekend for ball. Have great fun. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change, no overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Scores from around the majors right now. Brewers and Pirates had 0-0, but a rain delay in the top of the first. Phillies and Tigers knotted up at 2-2, and the Orioles lead the Royals 2-0 in the bottom of the third. Elsewhere, Rays leading the Mariners 1-0, also in the bottom of the third. Jays will be in action at 7:40 tonight against the Padres. Shane Bieber on the mound in that one. The Riverhawks will be playing Marion, a 7:05 first pitch down at Remax for that one. FIFA World Cup final from today saw Spain over Belgium, and in Wimbledon was Yannick Sinner and Sasha Zverev winning their semi-final matchups. News from around the sporting world is Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs have reached a 5-year, $252 million max extension, while ex-Heat teammates Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro had a physical altercation in Las Vegas today. Los Angeles Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani will miss the All-Star game because of a left knee injury, in the Toronto Blue Jays have dealt reliever Tommy Nance to the Minnesota Twins in exchange for minor league third baseman Ryan Sprock. And finally, in the CFL tonight, Toronto and Winnipeg with a 6:30 kickoff as Week 6 continues. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station.